Now I'm just testing my voice. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Greetings, dear ones. Can you hear me now? Just checking after restart. Yeah, I guess now I'm clear. Thank you. So, greetings, dear ones. I can hear you now. I can hear myself rather. Can I pull this aside? I can talk to you easily now. Hope you've been doing good. It's been long, I know. It's been almost 2 weeks, I guess. I've not been live. Greetings to all of you. Very nice to see you and the divinity in you. Okay, good. So now it's all set here. So today we are just briefly going to talk on, briefly I say because I'll not be spending a lot of hours today because I got to resume my personal sessions also today. That's coming up today at evening 6 o'clock again. So I thought I'll spend this time. I had no idea of doing this even till yesterday night. Today morning I was somehow prompted that we need to do this. Seeing your emails brought me back here because there were so many emails by yesterday night. I did not send that email, and by morning I had so many emails coming up. People asking me how am I, fine, if anything has happened. Nothing has happened. I was not in my frame of mind to do this live because to be in doing this live, you got to be in state of awareness. And if I am myself in not in my awareness, I wouldn't do it. Okay, I was attending to some other personal areas of my life. Anyways, coming back to the topic of awareness, which is very important, which is how and why we are sustaining ourselves. I was in Tiruvannamalai again recently, and whenever I walk into Ramanashram, I'm reminded of my true source. Who am I? Till the time you are out of that zone, the silent solitude zone, you are caught up in the mind. You are in the mind. We live in the mind. Most of the time, we live in the mind. So, there are very rare moments where we can enter into awareness. That is why I highly advise people to step into those places, to step into that zone, step into that kind of a company like what we have here, Satsanga. This is a Satsanga. To such areas which reminds you of your true self, which reminds you of who you truly are, and centers you in that stillness and keeps you away from the mind, because the world is already there, the whole world, the Srishti is there, and that is enough for you to remain in your mind. The more you are in the world, out in the world, the more your indriyas are outside. You automatically are in the mind. You don't need to do anything in this world to be in the mind, to be in the world, to be in illusion. You don't have to do anything. You just have to be alive in this world. That's all you need to do. But to remain as what you are, your true self, you need to make a lot of efforts. Efforts in the sense, this is effortlessness again. I speak of awareness as effortlessness, but in the start, you got to make efforts to make and build up such kind of environments that can make you effortlessness. There is the effort needed. The effort is not into struggle and silence your mind. That's not. That's a different way of doing it, and that's a difficult way of doing it. But one way of easily doing it, which I have very nicely succeeded, and I am sharing that with you, is to build up such kind of systems, such kind of a lifestyle where you are connected with only that which makes you effortless. You build up systems, you build up environments in such a way where you don't have to do anything. You are in that space and you become effortless, like Ramana Ashram. Ramana Ashram did not happen on its own. It took a giant like Sri Ramana. He's living there, he's being there. That whole hill never happened. Arunachala hill never happened unless the Lord Himself had this desire to manifest on earth. The moment he had a desire, the light appeared, Jyoti Swarupa, the first form of Shiva ever on this planet, appeared on Arunachala. Arunachala itself is that light. Tiruvannamalai. That was the chosen place where the Lord manifested Himself in the form of light. And from there it manifested into that hill. I have mentioned this many times. In how yugas to yugas, first it was just a pillar of light. For a whole yuga, Satyuga, it was only light, pure light. Shiva in that form. Shiva, the formless Shiva, in that form. Which slowly then turned into emeralds in the next yuga. Because the consciousness fell down of the yugas. So that light converted into emeralds. The more the consciousness felt, the emeralds turned into gold. It became a hill of gold in the third yuga. And finally, in the fourth yuga, it became stone and mud, soil and mud. So that is why it is very difficult to perceive how can that be Shiva, and it can be just as an illusion, it can be like a mythology. Oh, okay, fine. Just as we worship a Shivalinga and assume that that is a Shiva, though we cannot experience anything in the Shivalinga. But your mind might say it is a gross form of Shiva. That's good. That manner it's good. But if you actually study the how it happens, the science of how matter becomes light and how light becomes matter, that is all the Srishti is about. The entire creation was formed from light into grossness to what it is now. So it's so easy to understand that concept from the scientific point of view. From light, everything turned into grossness. But if you look at that hill, it's the same thing, the light that turned into grossness, mud and stones. So today also when you go there, and if you are in that space, that kind of an awareness, you are experientially in that space of awareness, and when you walk the hill in that awareness, it's a different feeling. It's like you're walking into the Lord Himself. That's how awareness helps. I always say, knowing is one thing, understanding is one thing. We understand certain things, these concepts can be understood, but it cannot be realized. Knowing, understanding, realizations are all different things. Realization is having a first hand experience of what you believe in or what you know to be true. So when you say the hill is Shiva, you know something. You know, it's just a knowing, it's, you understand. Oh, it's Shiva. Okay, holy it is. Worship. When you only understand, when you only know, all that you can do is worship. That's all you can do. What else can you do? You might worship it, you might touch that stone or that hill and say, oh, this is the Lord. But can you have an experience of that space of the Almighty, that you are in the Almighty? Because that is the gross form of Almighty. If you know the science, just knowing the science is not enough. But if you know the science, and if you side by side have a practice of awareness, if you are a practitioner of awareness, all these things are very easy. Otherwise, you become a bhakta, you become a devotee, where you worship and there is the worshipped. There is duality. This is what happens with when you know topics, when you understand topics. Where does understanding happen? Mind. Understanding and knowing are all things of the mind. How does the mind know? The mind knows because it studies, it analyzes, it gathers information. What is information? Somebody told you that hill is Shiva. Information. So you feed your mind with information. Oh, this is how it is. Will that give you an experience? No. All that I've been talking on this platform, shifting into awareness, unless you are a practitioner of awareness, you cannot have that first hand experience. You might know, you might become intelligent, you can become very knowledgeable. I have knowledge of this, I have knowledge of that, I know everything. Do you experience it? You can't. When can you experience it? When you get into that space of realizing that information. Knowing something is not important. Knowing anybody will know. All those who have studied till now have known their subjects. You have become experts in your field due to knowledge. What your teachers taught you, what your school taught you. How much do you have a first-hand experience of it? Depends of how much you have realized that tattva, that element. A doctor can study for so many years, do MBBS and specializations. But until that person has a realization of that experience, he cannot call it an experience. He can call it full of knowledge. He or she can say, I am a doctor, I know of this specialization, or I know of this particular anatomy and physiology. But until that person works and have a direct experience of what it is about, you can't. How can somebody who has never had a headache treat somebody's headache? Because you don't know what is a headache. You might read so much theories about headache is this, it gives you this kind of a pain, gives you this kind of an ache. But can you realize what is that headache of somebody? You can't. Until you have had the headache yourself, until you have had fever yourself, you will not know the fever of others. Until you have had pain yourself, you cannot know the pain of others. As simple as that. I remember Devi Amma always telling this. Key in this field, if you're out, she used to tell me, if you're out here to help people, if you're here to guide people, you need to suffer first. Without that, you cannot. How will you know the pain of others? How will you know what is undergoing, someone is undergoing? If somebody is telling, I'm in pain, I'm this kind of a trauma, I'm having this kind of misery, how will you ever relate to what they're saying? Because if you can't relate, you will only end up giving advices, hollow advices, khokla advices, because you don't know. You just, you might be an expert in talking, you might be an expert on the subject, but until you have realization of that, you can't. So realization is what? It is a first hand experience. It is the proof that what you are talking, you know what you are talking about. You should know, we should all know what we talk about. If we have not known and realized what we talk about, we shouldn't talk about it. That's what Bhagavan Nityananda said. What is in your mind, you should speak, and what you speak should be in your mind. What is within, you should speak, and what you speak should be within. Unless that, don't do it. Because then there is no alignment. Why am I saying this? Because today's topic is all about that. It's exactly relating to what I'm trying to say here. Yes, so what are we talking about? We are talking about the mind and awareness. Where mind is, there will be awareness. Where awareness is, there will be mind, because both are opposites. The dual world, because we are living in a dual world, there are going to be both this. Opposites are going to be there. Only if you have an experience of night, only you can respect and adore light. You cannot appreciate light until you have known darkness. You cannot appreciate pleasure until you have known pain. You cannot appreciate the sun until you have seen rainfall. Contrast is needed. It's a must. What is the contrast to awareness? Mind. You cannot know awareness until you have known what your mind is. That is why I said when you live in the mind, you cannot live in awareness. Opposites. You have choice on this field in the non-dual field. Non-dual means one. You can only choose one. You can either have an experience of your mind or you can have an experience of your awareness, one at a time. What do? We have experience of both. When we are in the mind, we experience all the grossliness, all the dualities, all the worries, all the tensions, all the pain, all the miseries, all the confusions, all the melodramas, all the illusions, all the delusions. So everything takes place in the mind. The opposite of that, bliss, peace, contentment, stillness, you will find in awareness. If you invest your time in awareness, that's what you will find. Because the product of awareness is stillness, peace, contentment, happiness, bliss, joy. And the product of mind is everything apart from these 4 5 things. Everything apart from these 4 5 things. It's chaos. Many come into spirituality just to still the mind because somewhere they know the mind is not giving them the stillness. Day and night it is restless. Day and night this mind has got a never ending problems. It can never end. The uselessness of this practice of using the mind is that ignorance, sheer ignorance. Because when we are in the mode of mind, it is called agyanta, darkness. It completely blinds reality. Because the mind's work is to blind reality. It will never show you the reality. It will show you what is false, and it will give you a mirage effect. Show you all the false and make you feel that it is so true. So true that you have no other option but to believe this is the truth. And awareness gives you a realization of what is the truth, of who you are, where have you come from, where are you going. These three things, it will always keep you alert and on the top of your list. If you are not in these three or not in awareness, you will slip back into the mind, where you will have a new world of your own. A world that is so false, yet appears so true. That though it is so false, it still gives you so much of pain and restlessness. But still, the ego loves choosing the mind because the ego loves drama. Simple as that. Awareness doesn't love drama. Awareness is devoid of all this kind of activities, is devoid of drama because it settles down in that deep stillness, in that space where there is nothing else, only the true you. ಏನ್ ಬೇಕಾಯ್ತ್ರಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಅವರು ಇಲ್ಲ just give me a second. ಏನ್ ಬೇಕಾಯ್ತ್ರಿ ಯಾರು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಹೌದಾ ಅವ್ರಿಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಬೇರೆ ಕೆಲಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಮ್ಮೆ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕಾಯ್ತು ಹೌದು ಅವ್ರ ಹೊರಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಯಾರ ಸಂದೀಪ್ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ See, that is why it is so important to build up these systems that keeps you in awareness, like these satsangs. Why are people writing again and again for this? Because it's so difficult. In the world you can't. It's very difficult. So we need assistance of each other. Something where, though we know, see, I'm telling you, this is what I'm trying to tell you. We all have this knowledge of awareness. We all know. But how much are we able to live in it? It's very difficult. Though we know all this concept, what I'm talking, we know it. But still, we need to sit in some space where there is stillness, where there is this realization of awareness. And you find that when we sit together here, there is awareness happening. Why is that so? Because if somebody is in that space, it can happen. It is contagious. But somebody has to be there first. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If you are not in that awareness, you cannot give it to others. You have to firsthand have an experience of that stillness. And when you are in that stillness, and then when you sit with others, it is contagious. It affects each other. But for that, you got to be in awareness. If you are not in awareness, nothing else is going to happen. If you are in chaos, everybody else will be in chaos. And that's what happens. There are all kind of satsangs. There are even worldly kind of satsangs happening, where there are so many discussions and debates and analysis and stuff, and so much of talks and talks and talks, where there's only arguments and arguments and debates, never ending. You can see the drama of this mind. And what is the outcome? Have we ever sat for 2 minutes and seen the outcome of these kind of satsang. There are two kind of satsangs. One is the worldly, grossly satsangs, which is so much of intelligent cleverness, so much of logic, and so much of explanation, so much of justification, so much of debates, so much of beautiful points to be proved, so much that's drama of the mind. It's so illuminating to see. When you indulge in that, you see the pleasure that you get when you talk about something, when we prove our points, when we debate about something, when we want to get there. Get where? To a place that doesn't exist itself. It's all false. Doesn't exist. How can I say it's false? You enter into a mode of meditation, you will understand. Until you meditate, you cannot understand the difference. Only if you can enter into that deep stillness, you will know the difference. If you are not a person of stillness, you will never know the difference. And that will sound very catchy, lively, and look like life, because there is so much to do. So much of doing and being, the difference. 2-3 weeks I completely spoke about doing and being. There is so much to do, doership. There's so much to claim. There's so much to feel proud about. There's so much to accomplish. And the ego loves boasting all this all the time. That ego is the one that keeps you engaged in endless talks. It can never silence its ego, can never silence itself, because all the time it wants to prove. Prove what? Prove what it is doing and is doing and doing all the time. I've told you it will always remain in the future or in the past. Because there is where drama is. Present you will have no drama. Try doing that. Right now you are in the present moment. You are here. You are in the space of stillness. Why do you feel good when you are in live session? What is live? Why not videos? Past videos, future videos. Why live? Because life is happening in the now. I am here in the now. We are all here in the now. What are we experiencing here? We are experiencing the now. If I start talking about the past, if I start talking about the future, you are no more in the now. We are all in the yesterday or tomorrow. And what will happen? I can demonstrate right now and show it to you. What will happen if I start talking about the past and future? Your stillness will all go off. You live in hallucination because both don't exist. Past is gone. Nothing of the past can be recreated how much ever you try, how much powerful ever you are. You cannot recreate it. It can never come back. But still we love hovering in the past. Whatever, our glories, our great successes or our failures, our traumas, all dramas. Successes are dramas, the pride of achievement, and so is also the failure, the fear or the pain of failure is what we call trauma, unhealed. I've met so many people who never want to heal. Spiritual beings, but they don't want to heal. They don't want to come out of the past. So much of glorifying the past. My guru used to always tell me one thing only. The day you drop your stories, you are self-realized. Samajh lo. The day you drop every story of yours. Story means what? Drama. This happened to me, that happened to me. This happened to me, that happened to me. Life did this to me, life did that to me. People did this to me, people did that to me. Circumstances did this to me, circumstances did that to me. I underwent so much of trauma, I underwent so much of pain. My life has been this way, my life has been that way. So much to talk on that drama. Not 1 ounce can you create that right now. Not 1 ounce is going to happen to you. It has happened and gone. Where it is happening? In your memory. Where is the memory coming? Who is boosting the memory? The ego. Ego loves keeping details of all this because it feels pleasure. That doership comes apart. It comes forth. I did so much. Life did this to me. I did that to person. That did this to me. It's all did, doership. The person of the past cannot sit calm in the present tense. Or it will be in the future. All the time planning in the future. What will happen to me? What will happen to mine? Me and mine. All the time there. Is the future true? No. Where is it happening? In the mind. If it is not true, how is the mind producing it? Mind is imagining things there. Past is, mind is recollecting the memories. Recollecting the past and bringing it in the present and destroying the present. Because you are living in the past. And what is the future? Mind is creating, imagining something of the future and bringing it to the present and living as though it is real now. Both are false. What is real? Present moment. What is your tomorrow? Your tomorrow also is going to be today only. If I say today is 18th, I'm thinking about 19th. You can think or do whatever. You can only live when 19th comes. And when 19th comes, can you live it as 19? No, 19 is now. 19th will happen now in the moment. Like 18th is today. 2 days back, you must have thought so much about Sunday. Sunday this and Sunday that. But when are you really living that Sunday? Right now, when you are in the now. So that Sunday which was in the future, 2 days later, is actually happening to you now. When you are actually in that Sunday. Till then what? It was all imagination. Now in these last 2 days, you must have imagined lot of things this way, that way, whatever. And what are you actually experiencing? What you are right now experiencing. That is why it is said most of the problem, 85 to 90% of the problems that you are worried about or thinking about never happens ever in your life. It never happens. I can vouch it is more than that, even 90%. Almost nothing happens what you imagine. Just take one example. All your life you have lived. What? Worrying. Worrying about what? Tomorrow. Where is that tomorrow? Today. You are living that today now. But once upon a time, this was your tomorrow. 2022 was your tomorrow. 4 years back, 5 years back, 10 years back, 20 years back. What were you thinking about toward this current year? Has it happened? It has never happened. What you thought never happened. What you focused on never happened. Then what was all it about? Mind games. All the play of the mind. What is your reality? What is 2022? Something else. And where are you living 2022? In the now. And what are you experiencing? Anything of your past? Anything that the mind imagined? Nothing. All new, something new only has happened. Old world affair only is that way. Pre-COVID, post-COVID, what all assumptions? What has happened? Nothing that nobody imagined happened. Something else only happened. And everybody is living that reality. Now, if you look back and think, was it worthwhile wasting all that time thinking all that? But still, the ego will not understand this. Ego loves to imagine, it loves to live in the future or in the past. Present moment is only for the practitioners of awareness. If you don't live in the present, you cannot call yourself a practitioner of awareness. You might be knowing about details about awareness. That's what I said. Knowledge about the subject is different than living the subject. Completely different. And until you live, that's not practical spirituality. That's hoax spirituality. We are just taming our mind and our egos, feeling that we are doing some spiritual activity. That's all. Another catch of the ego. But it will never ever be able to experience it. That is why most of the people love this subject, but they hate practicing it. They love this subject. We might share so much of information on the social media. We might talk so much about it. We might call up somebody. We might talk so much on these subjects. But until we are living that, it's hollow spirituality. And if it is hollow, we shouldn't speak about it. That's why I didn't speak for 2 weeks. Because if I am not in that space of awareness, I cannot speak about it. I have no right to speak about it. I cannot fake it. Awareness cannot be faked. So these are the contrasts of life, Devas. Contrasts of life. Now, if you want to get into the stillness, what are the benefits? I wouldn't call it as benefits. Benefits is a very cheap word, because we are not here for benefits. We are not here for profits. What benefit can this be? If somebody asks me, what benefit can awareness do? I will say nothing. Really? Yes. What can it do to you? Nothing. Nothing. What will I become? Nothing. Nothing. Are you sure? 100% sure. Then there is nothing here? Yes, there is absolutely nothing here. Then that's not my cup of tea. I say yes, it's not. Because this is a field of nothing. You become nothing here. You cannot be something, do something, and achieve nothingness. It's simple. If you want nothing, you do nothing. You gain nothing. Nothing. There is nothing. Nothingness, what we call. How can you do so much to get nothing? So it's a little bit catchy there, and it's not an easy path. It's not for everybody. That's why everybody doesn't walk this kind of a path. Though it's a direct path. Ramana always said this. This path is very important, but not everybody can understand it. Until you understand, you have to go through all the other paths, where you do until you reach a realization that enough of doership. Everything you got to do. You might enter into bhakti marga, and there you got to do devotion, do puja, do worship, do this, do that. Bhakti yoga. You get into karma yoga, full of doership. Do this, do that, do this seva, do that seva. Or you get into Jnana Marga again. In that also there is so much of doing, reading, learning, studying scriptures, getting information, Jnana Marga. And Raj Marga. Do meditation. You do so many activities there again. So many sattvic activities you do. To do. What are you doing? I am doing my meditation. Impossible. You cannot do meditation. It has to happen to you. But the world is in that phase. Now I have to do, because the doership. So all, any marga you take, it's all do. Or do yoga. Keep doing. There's a doer there. Not that these paths are wrong. It is impossible that you can call this path wrong. All these paths wrong, because it existed. And it has successfully helped people out. But it's not for, the path of direct path. The direct path is directly the path of inquiry, where you are just stilling and getting into that mode of becoming aware of who you are. That's all. and what life is. Straight to the point. Very difficult. Why? Because there is so much to do, is what we have believed all the time. So we love doing, and the world loves teaching you to do. It's demand and supply. The more doers are there, the more there will be teachers of doership. You do this, do that. It all works. Superb business. It all works. Because there is so much of demand for it. How many would like to sit alone with themselves? Very difficult. They hate their own company. We can't still sit still with our own selves. Imagine what kind of a company we must be. If we can't sit alone with ourselves, then we are in bad company. Such a loser company. You are with yourself and you can't bear yourself, tolerate yourself. You need somebody else all the time. What a bad company is that? And all these people of awareness, like Bhagavan, Ramana, and many other mystics, these were people who sat with themselves. They didn't love crowds. They didn't need crowds. They were alone with them. Alone with themselves means alone with their self. And everything. Rest is history. That is why all these great mystics and avdus who even sat in jungles or in any aloof, silent place, soon they were crowded. They were never left alone because that's the catch of that stillness. It attracts people like anything. Stillness, silence attracts people. That's how Tirunamalai attracts people. Arunachala attracts people. There is no activity. You go inside the ashram, there you will see. Of course, there are some rituals and all going on, but the core of the activity is stillness. You will not find people doing yoga there. Though all kind of people come there. People who are in bhakti, they come, they sing songs, they chant, they do japa, they do tapa, they do meditation, they do meditation. There are people who do meditation. But still I'm telling you, amongst all that, you will see some non-doers there who don't do anything. But they are just walking in a certain kind of stillness, that space of stillness. They are the ones who have realized their true essence of that space and are utilizing it that way. The rest have still brought their belief systems with them. Oh no, to do this, I have to do this ritual, then only I'm going to get somewhere. I have to do this meditation, then only I'm going to get somewhere. I have to do this japa, this chanting, or sing a song, then only a bhajan, then only I'm going to get somewhere. In such places also, the strong belief systems they bring together. Sanjay Singh, I am alone. Depends on what mood you're saying that. So many of us say I'm alone. We try to get company out of the world. We try to get assurance out of the world, but when the world kicks us out or the world doesn't meet our expectation, then there is a feeling of loneliness. Then when somebody says I am alone, that is a different mode of operation of aloneness. That is dejection, that feeling of alone. I am alone. That is being left alone. I feel I've been left alone. or there is nobody who can understand me, there is nobody who can know me. Disappointment. It's a disappointment when that word comes, I am alone. You can see if you just look at that word also, I am alone. Whatever frame of mind you are in, it will reflect that way. If you are a depressed person, if you see loneliness, you'll suddenly reflect that. But there is another kind of aloneness where it is a realization. It is not an experience of life, it is not a lesson of life where you say, I'm alone now. But you realize and you truly acclaim to yourself and say, I'm truly alone. That realization, you can say, is stillness, is silence, true silence, where you feel the self is alone. Alone doesn't mean it is alone from that self and that people and this crowd and this community and this country. I'm alone from that. No. It comes to a realization knowing that this, what I know as my soul, is alone because there is no difference between this and that. Everything is just one. It is that one aloneness, that oneness which is alone. I am Shiva. When you say Shiva is eternal, Shiva is everywhere, every atom that Shiva is there. So when you say I am that, I'm that Shiva, what is that Shiva? That Shiva doesn't feel alone from the separateness because that aloneness is different. It is one, aloneness in that diversity. Bheed may be tanha. You have a crowd, you have a big party or jubilation going on, and you are one among that, and you're feeling so lonely. Everybody is with somebody or the other in this world, and look at me, I'm alone. I'm feeling so alone. That's a different alone. You are separating yourself from so many. There is a separation, this duality. You are there, the crowd is there. The alone person is there, and the fullness is all around. That is a very depressive kind of an aloneness. That is not aloneness, that is loneliness. That comes from this dual phase of mind where you are there and there is somebody else, but you are separate from that and you feel alone. But this I am alone, which comes from that realization that I am that self. There is no aloneness if you see, there is only fullness of everywhere. And in that fullness, there is only you. You call that as anything. You call that as Shiva, you call that as Brahma, you call that Vishnu, you call that as God, you call that as me, the I, the self, the supreme, whatever you call it. But that fullness is there. That fullness is all you. There is a different realization. I am alone. All that is Shiva when they say. God is all that is. So that means what? God is the only thing that exists everywhere. And who is God? I am God. Aham Brahmasmi. I am that I am. Tattvamasi. That feeling of aloneness. And there where you claim that I am alone. That is the true aloneness. So we got to check that words of when we say I am alone. The most ignorant people only can say I am alone in this world. I have no one. When you say I have no one, Dvayat, matlab there is someone and that is you, but that you don't have belongingness to that someone or that someone doesn't belong to you, so you feel separate and you feel alone. That's a different feeling. That's not the path of awareness. That's the path of the ego. Ego separates. Ego feels that it is always separate. That is the play of the mind. All that happens in the mind. Because all this separatedness, all this I am separate, I am different, I am alone comes in the mind. It can never come in awareness. All these topics, all these kind of feelings can happen only in the mind. Only when your mind is active can you feel alone. Because the mind gives you these kind of ideas. Look, I'm alone. Awareness gives you that fullness of that loneliness. Still, this is not perceived. Dr. Sanjay, to perceive it is what I suggest. The practice, the practice of that stillness. Even if you perceive it one moment a day, also, it's more than enough. You don't have to be in that stillness. I'm telling you, I'm teaching here more of shifting into awareness. I'm not even teaching living in awareness because I don't live in awareness yet. But I know I can be there. When can you live in awareness? When you are persistent with your shifting into awareness. When you shift, keep on shifting and you drift back. You shift, you drift, you shift. When you keep on doing this, a day will come when the shifting is lesser and more effortless and more natural, more sahaj. It's very natural. And when that period is extended, you are living in awareness. But it begins from this small glimpses of having this experience of stillness. If you can't experience that stillness, the tools are very much important to build up those kind of tools. By not building up tools, we cannot be overconfident in this world that awareness will just happen like that. You cannot. You cannot take anything for granted, not even Maya. It's very easy to call it Maya or illusion, but it's so difficult when you are actually operating from your mind. You can just be entangled in it without even having the slightest hint that you're caught up, because the mind will not allow you to believe that you're caught up. It will still give you the feeling that you are free. You can live in Maya, and still the mind can convince you. Keep going. You're free. The best of people have had this fall. The best of stories tell you that. We cannot be egoistic about, or we cannot be too prideful about our little achievements. Life can trip you anytime if you're not careful, if you don't have the proper tools to keep you alight. What are your tools? The systems that you build around yourself, for yourself. Got to be very careful. Who don't, who, who are the people who don't build up these tools, who feel very confident about themselves? Then you have not yet known Maya, how it can trip you. And Maya happens, Maya trips you, it throws you apart. Why? Because then only you will appreciate the reality. So you have to have false of falseness, then only you can appreciate reality. Contrast. Because otherwise, if reality is given to you, you will have no value for it. Only when you have a contrast, you will have appreciate and respect for that stillness. So this is all the part of the game. This is how the human life is designed. So there's nothing to feel bad or remorse about it. Absolutely nothing to feel remorse. If you are drifting down, if you are going back into the ego or going back into the mind or falling back into the Maya, it's all fine. Observe, learn. That is what you are here for. You and me are here for. To observe and learn. Till when? Till you realize what is the truth. Till then, these setbacks are going to be there. So there is nothing remorse because you guys write to me, or this happened for some time and then it's not happening. Why are we building such expectations that one moment we have it and then we have had it for life? No, be very practical. Be very practical to know that. That is why I said never claim yourself to be in some position. However good you are, never ever say, I've reached. Always say, I'm a student. I'm learning. I'm learning. Then you'll have no disappointments. Even if you fall, it's okay. You'll get up, you'll dust yourself and walk. What did that fall give you? Precious experience, due to which you can now value where you are walking towards. So every experience, every fall is beautiful. Even the best of people like Narada, there is so much of stories about even Narada, Lord Narada, again, where he falls into Maya or he trips down or he has pride that he has won over lust. He has that pride saying that I have won over lust. No, Vishnu teaches him a lesson. You can't claim that. You are having a temporary experience of suspension where kama, krodha, lobha, moha, matsya, madmatsya, all these are suspended for some time. In that suspension, you cannot have the pride of feeling I don't have it. And the moment you have that feeling, life will throw you a jerk, give you a jerk to tell you no, that's not true. This is how life functions. This is how human life functions. And this is what we are here to learn. Until we learn, this will go on. Once you realize this fact, this is how life functions, then you'll not live an artificial life. You'll live a very practical life. And you'll never say no to lessons, or you'll never make a conclusion about a lesson and saying, that's it, I've done, I've had it. You'll be open to corrections, correcting yourself. Who's the one who corrects you? Only your awareness. Remember this. The more you are practicing awareness, that light of awareness will guide you and tell you where you are wrong and where you got to work on yourself. I'm not talking even 1 ounce about changing others or talking to others about where they need to change. Usually, our disappointments are all because of the world, because there is an expectation that the world must change so that I am at peace, which will never happen. We are here to learn whatever happens, irrespective of whatever happens outside, our state of mind shouldn't change. That is where the whole catch is. That is where the lesson should be. Who tells you this? Only awareness can tell you this. Very genuinely, it will remind you the light of awareness. If you have that grace of whoever, your own self grace, your master's grace, the Guru Mandala's grace, God's grace, whatever you call it, grace is grace. Who has attracted the grace? You. Through what? Through your pure intention. Pure intention of what? Pure intention of wanting to change and evolve. If you have a strong intention of wanting to change and evolve, that's pure intention, because there is nothing purer than wanting to transform yourself. Purest of pure intention, that is. I want to change and evolve. I don't want to change the world. I am not bothered. I want to change myself. Purest of intention. And the purest of intention attracts the purest of coincidences or life incidences. It brings you all that which will help you evolve and grow. And that all, I mean, good, bad, ugly experiences, all kind. There will be all kind of experience, but that will lead you towards something that is very precious. That will lead you more towards your self inner. It will lead you more towards that guiding light or that God force within. Who asked for it? You asked for it. How? Through your intentions. What is your intention? I want to evolve and reach that state of godliness. That's the purest intention. Rest all manifests itself as experiences. So if you are having that pure intention, then whatever follows, good, bad, ugly, your awareness will keep you alert and tell you that don't tumble. It might be a favorable or an unfavorable incident that is happening in your life, but it is leading you towards your highest goal. That light of awareness will always be there. If that light of awareness is missing, the ego takes over. When there is absence of light of awareness, there is presence of ego. That will misguide you. That will tell you, look, you have been walking the path sincerely and this is what you get. Look at the nonsense that you have in your life. And this is what you attract even after doing all this. Watch out. That's your ego that's playing because you have shifted, moved, drifted away from that awareness. Ego takes over. That's enough to demotivate you. That's enough to put people off the track. That's enough for people to keep doing blunders. That's enough for people to not want to look within. That's enough for people not to become practical and continue doing the blunders which the ego justifies. You're right. Keep doing this. Why? Because that ego doesn't want to die. It doesn't want you to evolve. It doesn't want you to go higher and deeper. Because if you go higher, it is the death of this ego, which will not die so easily. So, under pretension, it will change forms. It will change its logic. It will change its views and opinions and give you the feeling that go ahead. That is where most of us go wrong. That is why I say the gift of the light of awareness is the most precious gift. If that is absent from your life, you can do any blunders and you can continue doing blunders. You can go down the hill without even knowing that you are rapidly moving down the hill. That is why I stress so much on awareness. When we speak, when we talk, when we converse, when we do anything, if your light of awareness is not on, we are as good as animals. Because rest all follows through the Pashubha. It's just animalistic tendencies. It is just to win over something because that's what the animal is. It doesn't bother about anything, it wants to win. It wants to have victory, that's all. Hook or crook. And it will do anything to do that. Like animals. That is why you'll see true seekers will not love arguments. They will love silence. They will love stillness. Not want to prove anything. They love to quit the game of ego of wars, war of egos. They love to quit that without feeling that they have lost. Because most of the time it's the ego that doesn't allow us to quit the game of debates and arguments, fights, the win. My Gurudev always spoke about a very famous saying, English saying, win win. The situation should always be win win. I win, you win. It shouldn't be I win, you lose. And worse, it even shouldn't be even worse like I lose, you win. The most worst is I lose, you lose. That is finishing off everything. ना रहेगा बास ना बचेगी बांसुरी. Finish off. Somebody is hanging down the cliff. Somebody wants to save. There is a savior, and there is a one who's the victim who's going to die or is going to fall from the cliff. That person is struggling for life. Now, the person, the savior, also jumps along with that person. I lose, you also lose. Both lose. You don't win each. Whatever reasons. I win, you lose. That person leaves the hand and walks off. I win, I won it. I don't mind if you go to hell. Die. I win, you lose. That's all. Pashubha. I lose, you win. The one who is hanging down says, "You don't worry, you don't worry, you must survive. You go, go, go. Don't worry about me." You know, in Hindi films you can see that. मेरे बारे में फिक्र मत करो, आप जाओ, भागो यहाँ से. Let me die. I lose, you win. Most of the people in the victim mode are in this way. I lose, I lose. You go ahead, you go ahead in life. आप फूलो, फलो, you evolve. May God bless you. May good things happen to you. Me, I am like this only. Life has always treated me like this. The poor me, the victim me. Don't worry about me. You go. तुम खुश रहो बस. मैं don't worry about me anything. I lose, you win. Another form of ego. People normally say, no, I win, you lose. That's ego. No. The opposite way also is ego. Mahishasur the killer of the demon of ego, the Asura, Mahishasur. First, he's fierce, he's fighting, he wants to win, and the divine force is fighting over it. So, that time it's very powerful. It says, I will not leave you, mother, divine mother, I am going to finish you. Ego is saying. But when the divine power gets more powerful on that, suddenly that same demon, Asura, becomes a saint and folds hands in front of the mother and say, "Oh mother, are you going to kill me? I am only your bhakta. I am folding hands in front of you. You are all powerful. What am I in front of you? You want to kill this poor me, this humble me? Please do so. Here am I." Ego, change form. Suddenly it has become a saint. From a demon, it has become a saint. But the cunningness is still the same. This is what awareness tells us. And this is what all these stories are talking about. How dangerous it is, how easy it is to get convinced. No, that demon has become a saint now. And if the mother would have granted that person to go, okay, fine, you're crying now, you become a nice, humble soul. The mother would have turned and that demon would have attacked. But the divine force knows the cullingness. Still, even if that person is pleading, Divine Mother slays even that. What does that show? Be merciless to that ego that is crying within you as innocent, as a victim. Be merciless with the light of awareness. No, this is cunningness, my own cunningness, which is playing games, which is telling that I lose, you win. The whole world let it win, I lose. No. So my Gurudev used to tell it until it becomes universal that I win, you win. We win. It becomes we win then. It's not I and you anymore. Whatever happens, it's like we. We win this. We must win this. We must evolve. We must reach there. Not that you reach somewhere. I am here. I lose, you win. Or I put you down. You behave where you are. I am going to go more than ahead than you. I win, you lose. Or the worst ego. ले जाऊंगा जाऊंगा तो ले डूबूंगा. If I am going to go, I won't spare you. I'll pull you also and go. So if my death is coming, no, I won't leave you. Take you also and go. That is, I lose, you lose. Horrible situations. Light of awareness will show through all these. This happens very regularly in human life. In various stories, in various forms, you will find this. Various aspects of life, you will find this. Until you are a practitioner of awareness, you will not even guess this. That is how powerful the Maya, the ego does. It will justify everything. Like how the Asura will feel justified that it has become, it has lost now. But no, when it loses, the ego is winning there. Who sees this gap? Awareness. Stillness, that self will show you that. No, it will immediately laugh. The cunning me. That is the divine force, the divine mother. The Mardini, the killer. That is that force that will slay. Your own consciousness will stand there and say, no, this is wrong. It will cut it off. There is where you win. There is where the mother wins the war. This is what Durga Shapsati is all about. All deep aspects within us only. It is not some divine mother or some evil that is fighting a war somewhere in the heaven. It's not at all. Though it's all happening, interdimensional it's happening, interlife it's happening, within our life it's happening on multiple dimensional experiences, it's happening everywhere. But you can be aware of it only if you practice this awareness. What is the practice of awareness? You should be able to still yourself anywhere you are. If you can still yourself, you will notice this awareness. If you cannot still yourself, you cannot notice this. Why? Stillness means no mind. Until you drop the mind, you cannot enter into awareness. Until the mind is chanchal, you cannot enter into awareness. All this what I am talking to you will never even come close to your mind. Mind. Come close to your mind because the mind is playing its play. That is why when you practice more and more stillness, the stillness will take over without even your understanding over your mind. You don't have to become a doer there. It's in a being. It just happens. Being. Doer is the mind that keeps on doing things. This is not doership. It is just being that way, being silent, being aware. It just happens. It takes over. And it doesn't happen in the mind. Mind you, if there is discussions happening in the mind, oh, the cunning part of me is telling that I am a loser. I got to now become alert. And if there is discussions like this going on, that is the mind that has taken over. No, there is no discussion. Awareness means it will show that light to you and it will act there and then it will take action and it will finish and it will move to the next. It will not sit hovering there and discussing and thinking, and that's all the ego. That is why the practitioners of awareness, they just do it. There's no discussions about it. They don't like discussions. How do you discuss these certain things? You can't. Because for discussions you need two. Two means debate. They are not discussions. They are not awareness. It's not awareness. It is not the knowingness. It is a debate of what you know. Understanding. That is why it is said knowingness or awareness means silence. Silence means there is nothing to discuss, nothing to talk, nothing to prove, nothing to disprove. I'm not talking about the other person. Even with yourself, there will be no discussions. When you are a moment, when you are sitting in awareness, they just happen. And you just keep overcoming it without even claiming or even thinking, oh, I did this. That is the power of silence. The silence takes over and does lot of things. End result is you don't even know and you're not even bothered of what happened within you. Something came, something happened. That's it. You might be aware of everything. You might even recollect that, because if your mind is somewhere little also involved in that process of awareness, it becomes memory. While this awareness thing is happening within you, the mind is also Jagrat. Mind catches these. What is happening in this awareness, this cleansing or whatever, all this what I told you process. Suddenly the light of awareness shows you something and it takes action, it overcomes it. The mind, if it is little also involved, it will catch the memories. So this becomes your memory, and later on when you're sitting, you say, oh, I was in awareness and this thing happened. Okay, okay. And then there was a shift inside and something changed. Why? Your memory, your mind has got that memory. But now if you go and explain it to others, oh, this happened, it's gone. Then the ego takes over. Then there is discussion over that. Then somebody might tell you, oh no, that's nonsense. That's your mind game or something happened. And then you are in doubt and then you are questioning yourself, or the other person is questioning yourself. Gone. The whole process is gone. Are you understanding what is silence and what is this non-silence? Silence, it just happens in awareness. You are aware of it, but you don't retain a memory of it. That is why whenever you are in deep sadhana or in deep meditation, you have no memory of it. When you come back, you have no memory of it. If you have memory, then your mind has been there. And if your mind has been there, you are not in pure awareness or pure meditation. See the catch? Because if you are in pure meditation, sometimes, because I just gone for 15 minutes, I was thinking 15-20 minutes I'll meditate before the session. I think it was 12:15 or 12 o'clock or something, and when I opened my eyes it was only 3 or 4 minutes to 1:11. I had to hurry, that's why I became late, and I have no awareness what happened. Stillness, blank, gone. No idea of what 1+ hour happened, but there is an awareness of a stillness, that's all. If 1 hour, what all happened, if I would have been able to recollect now, this thing happened, then it was not meditation, because the mind is active there. Only if the mind is active, it can record. There is a recorder. What is the recorder? Only the mind can record. Awareness cannot record. Why? Because awareness is in the present moment. Recording happens only if there is a past and future device. Mind is a past and future device. Then only it can record something of the past where you can reproduce in the future. Awareness means in this moment, every moment is passing like this. You are living in that moment. The next moment, this old moment is gone. You have no record of it. You are in this second. The moment you realize you are in this second, that also has passed. The next second has come. This way you are living only in the present. That is where awareness, there is no recording. That is why samadhis have no recording. You are in the moment. Samadhi means in the moment. But yeah, nowadays, whatever I do, not giving me happiness professionally. I experience worldly things, not true happiness. And my mind is stuck. I am seeking something since 3-4 months. I want guidance. See, you told very clearly your mind is stuck. Till you are in the mind, till your mind is operating, it's very difficult, very, very difficult. You must understand this. The mind is the cause of all these things. You cannot have solutions beyond the mind by being in the mind. You must understand that. How not to be in the mind? Practice awareness more and more. The more you expand your stillness, the more dysfunctional your mind will become. It will not have power. It will start losing its power. How will you know? You will see that you are able to sit with yourself for more and more time. That is one good indication, good sign of progress, that you are able to sit with yourself for more time. If you are not able to sit with yourself and constantly need the company of others, that's the opposite way you are going. That's not the stillness of the mind. That's not awareness you are moving towards. You are moving towards the mind because the mind wants assurance from something outside all the time. It wants to keep you assured that I am safe, everything is fine, all is well. So, this kind of practice you are seeing, you are seeking something since 3 4 months. I want guidance. Something is not, whatever you do is not giving you happiness professionally. I experience worldly things, not true happiness. Good that you realize that. Worldly things can never give you happiness unless you bring awareness to it. If you truly want to experience worldly joy and worldly happiness, you have to add awareness to it. You have to be aware of that, whatever you are experiencing, professionally, worldly, whatever. You got to be fully aware of it, then only you can relish that moment. If you don't add awareness to it, it is just a passing phase. It will happen and it will pass. And all that you can have from that experience is only memories. I'm telling you, if you have not lived in full complete awareness of a certain situation or a worldly experience, then your mind is invested at that time, not your awareness. Your mind is enjoying. That is called bhoga. Man hi karta, man hi bhokta. The mind is enjoying that worldly fulfillment only by the mind. There is no awareness. Awareness is absent. What happens then? Mind enjoys it, records that event, the experience of that event, and the moment passes, that moment becomes a memory for you now. Now you can go back into your mind and relive that experience, and suddenly you will see you are entered into that memory and you will start reliving that experience what you had at that time. Why? Because the mind recorded. Why? Because the mind was भोगिंग it. मन ही करता, मन ही भोगता. मन भोग रहा था उस चीज को. अब वापस आप उसी मन के द्वारा दोबारा उस चीज को भोग रहे हो. So you feel pleasure, you feel fulfillment. That is why it is called you live in the past. You live in the past memories. Why do you click on to those memories? Because your current phase of life does not have that kind of an experience. It's that experience which you loved so much, it has become history, the past. And the only way, if you do not know awareness, the only way you can experience that is go and live in the past again. Then you will start recreating that in the present and living that. Till when? Till that memory is there. The moment that memory fades away, again you are depressed. Why? Because you are empty again. To fill that emptiness, you have to go into the past and access that memory. Why are you empty in the present? Because you are not in awareness. If you would have been in awareness even in that moment, that present moment you would have fully experienced it, nourished it, and got a fulfillment out of it. If there is no awareness, there is no fulfillment. It is half hearted, half satisfaction. Because you need awareness to give completion to something. How can you transcend your desires? Gurudev always used to say bhog and moksha. But why people are only stuck in bhoga all the time? Moksha to dur ki baat. Why? Because that experience is not coming with full awareness. Anything you do only with the mind, it will be incomplete. Your mind will recollect that experience and want to relive that experience. That because it's incomplete, it wants completion. So it will redo that. Habits are just that. Addictions are just that. If you have gone to an experience and try to have an experience of any habit, smoking, drinking, alcohol, sex, food, anything, If you have not given your completion there while having that experience, again it will call for that experience. But if you have been in awareness and experiencing that, you have nourished that in the present moment, given completion to it, and that is when you transcend that bhoga. You can transcend only when you have given nourishment to it. All the habits are that way, incomplete habits. Many people have, I am unable to come out of habits. Completion not given. So I will never say suppress your desires. Never. Whatever it is. Be it even smoking, drinking, meat, food, any kind of cravings, you can't get over it by suppressing. Suppressing means the mind work. Mind work means incompletion. Incompletion means memory will be there. Memory means you will remember it again. Remembering means you will miss it again. You will want it again. And the cycle repeats till you get completion. That bhog, it will keep on. That is why people cannot move away from bhog. Moksha to dur ki baat. To finish the moksha, you have to give completion to each of these desires. That is why we are having human experience. Ki whatever we have not experienced, we come and now experience and give completion to it, not keep looping on that. Because we have done that for all these janmas. When is that going to end? It will never end. Another 50 janmas, you will be doing the same thing. Looping. Why? Incompletion. If some certain desire has not been given a self completion and you leave your body, automatically all those unfulfilled desires will become your prarabdha and you come back again. Why have you come back? To experience it. So whatever you have left incomplete, you have come to experience it. So the only way to complete it is to give complete satisfaction to it, complete fulfillment to it. How can you give fulfillment? When you are in the present moment and fully active and present here. But what do we do? While we are having or relishing anything in the present, our mind is again in the future or in the past. We are not in the present. If we are not in the present, we are not having awareness of that moment and we lose that essence. There is no completion, thus it remains incomplete. And then again, future, you can expect the same desire to come back again. This is the science of desires. So you are saying you are seeking something in this world. This seeking is that only. This seeking is exactly that. What is it? That unfulfilled desires. That is what the mind is seeking all the time. And why is there no completion? Because whatever you seek, you manifest, you create, but you are not able to live completely in that, in the present moment, in complete awareness. You are not able to relish that. If you relish that completely, you will see that suddenly there is a transition of that desire. You transcend, you begin transcending that desire. It becomes lesser and lesser impactful, and the more and more completion you give to it, you finish it off. Today also I follow that. Anything, any craving, any desire from my past, if it lurks in my mind, I don't pay second attention to curbing it. I will eat it. I will drink it. Whatever you call it. Because I have seen that is the only way I have transcended desires, not by making rules. There were hundreds of desires in me once upon a time. So many bad habits. It didn't go until I gave it complete completion. By fully being aware of that. Fully being aware of it. And if it lurks again, I will do it again. People may call that indulgence. So you're indulging in that. If you're doing it with the mind, you are indulging in it. Incomplete indulgence. And that will create another future cravings. But if you're doing that in awareness, you are giving completion to it. That is more sensible act. And that is what you are born here for. You are not here to born to suppress your desires and kill your desires and make strict rules and rigid rules. Try it. It will not work. One day it will just explode like a volcano. I've been through all that. Suddenly people will say, I don't have that habit. I don't have this quality. I have seen so many people say, I don't have greed. No. I don't have craving for food, this food. I don't have craving for lust. I am above it. So many people have shown, but when it comes in front, you are like galloping it. You are swallowing it, literally. What's that happening? Unfulfilled desires. Came from where? Your own wrong thinking that no, you push it away, it's going to, no, it's not. It's going to be boiling deep down and waiting for an opportunity outside. In this Janma or some other Janma. And that is why you and me are having so many Janmas. So many things are coming from the past, unfulfilled. So if you are living a life of awareness, you will welcome experiences in your life without being too prophetic about it, or without becoming a philosopher about it. No philosophies. Philosophies won't help us. Practicality will help us dealing with it in awareness. Good, bad, ugly, whatever. So this seeking, what we say, I'm seeking it somewhere. This seeking is what? This seeking is something that is lying pending deep. There is a void within. But we are seeking it in the wrong places because we are stuck in the wrong places. Like professionally, you said, if I'm professionally stuck somewhere because of whatever condition, I got to do this for my bread and butter, I got to do this. You're stuck in some profession or whatever that is. And now you are doing it only to fulfill a certain need or whatever. But you are not doing it to fulfill your deepest desires. Your deep desire might be some other field. But your gross desire is that you want money out of it. The profession is paying your bills. So you're doing it for that gross desire, but you're not doing it for your deep desire. Your deep desire is something else. So you're searching for that deep desire in the wrong place, that is in this profession, which will not give you that. Or you're searching it in the wrong place, that is the gross world. You need subtle experiences. You need subtle, deep experiences that you want to have with yourself. But you're seeking it in the world. Why? There is, I need peace. I need that calmness. Where do we seek it? In relationships. I need peace. I need calmness. I need that inner security. That's inner stability. The deep inner love. That deep contentment. That peace within. I seek it outside. I might seek that happiness in an ice cream, in a certain food, in a certain relationship. All these are just that. There is some seeking which is pending inside, but because we have five senses and our five senses are always active. What are you going to catch? What you see, what you hear, what you touch, what you sense, what you smell, what you taste. This is the first interaction that you are going to get. So any interaction in this world, you will start, the senses will believe, oh, this will give me satisfaction. You go and touch that. Though this might give you satisfaction, you go and eat that. This might give me, you might see it. Or this, listening to this music or this way will give me this satisfaction. You listen to that. Everything is a process. Everything that we do, the desires, daily activity is just a deep fulfillment that is happening subconsciously, including this satsanga. There is something, some deep requirement that is there, which through the five senses it is trying to seek. The soul is trying to seek that experience. That is why you are sitting here. Simple as that. And the moment it gets that, it's happy. The mind is happy. I'm getting it. But if you are not in awareness of how you are getting it and how you are getting fulfilled, how there is peace, how there is a satisfaction of that experience, if you don't do that in that awareness, you miss the whole game. Because then, if awareness is absent, then the mind is sitting here and doing this. It is getting that pleasure, no doubt, it is getting that. But it doesn't know how to get fulfillment out of it. The completion is not happening. The mind is just recording these events, or this pravachan, or this talk, or this discourse, or this enlightenment, or this little experience, this little, it is recording all that, but completion is not happening. So after a few days, when this is not there, you'll start missing that. Oh, I am missing that. What are you actually missing? That experience, that memory has created. At that time when I was sitting, I was experiencing this kind of a peace or calmness. Now I want to experience that again. Are you seeing? There is no completion in that, because the mind was active there. But if your awareness would have been there, and you would have fulfilled while you are listening, or while you are in that activity, whatever activity you are in, and you are fully engrossed in that, and in your awareness it's happening, there is a completion that's happening. This is why Osho said, if you want to smoke, smoke. Somebody wanted to quit. I'll quit for 8 months, I quit for 1 year, and again I'm back into it. So he said, why are you quitting? Quitting your habits, or forcing your habits, or pushing away your habits will not make you a wise man. It will end you up in trouble. Till you have life, give completion to that. How can I do that? Smoking, I'm a damn chain smoker. I smoke 2 to 3 pack cigarettes, which means 30 cigarettes a day. Do you know how much is that? Osho said you are a fool, because in every smoke that you're taking, you are not aware. Your mind is recording that puff. Your body is experiencing it. But where are you, the awareness? It's not there. So there is no completion. With every cigarette that you smoke and throw, you feel satisfied for that moment, because the mind is fulfilled that time. Your body is fulfilled. Nicotine runs in your blood, and the moment it runs in your blood, you feel satisfied. You throw the cigarette. I'm done. But after half an hour, 1 hour, when the nicotine moves out of your blood, again there's a craving coming. So your physical body and your mind is experiencing that incompletely. That is why you are not able to fulfill that. He said, bring the cigarette. Why 30? Why not with one? Why are you not happy with one? Why people have 10 relationships? Why can't they be happy with one? Because they are not fully aware in that one. They are somewhere else. The physical body might be in that relationship, but they are somewhere else. So there's an incompletion here. And then they feel the partner is incomplete. And then they go and hunt for another partner, thinking that it is some problem here. Let me have a completion there. They have another partner there. And then the same old story. Then they go for another partner. That is why there are multiple and tens of partners. And that is why there are chain smokers. 30 cigarettes a day till it doesn't satisfy a smoker. And Osho says one cigarette can smoke if you smoke it properly, in awareness, it can satisfy you. And he taught him how to smoke. See, he taught a smoker how to smoke. Osho doesn't smoke, but he knows the science behind it. And that's how he taught even people how to have sex. Give completion to it, he said. It's your vasana that he wants to. He said, you don't have to get married and get stuck in that and all those big things. But he was treated against like a taboo. Hey, he's going against the system. What nonsense is this? Creating havoc in the society? No, he was a wise man. He was a scientist. He was telling, deal with that vasana that you have. Once you deal with that, why will you want to marry, and why will you think of marriage again? And if you're done with it in your this life, next lifetime you won't have that kind of a desire again. You don't have to create tens of partners, or don't have to take 30 janmas to have 30 wives or 30 husbands. Simple logic. Food you like, relish it in your awareness, whatever that food is. Suppression will not give you that. So he taught a smoker how to smoke. He told him, get the cigarette, begin. That person put them, and he said, don't, where are you running? It is because of this habit only you are not settled in life. You have not had the fulfillment in life. That put that cigarette slowly to your lips. And before you put it to your lips, have you ever felt it? Taken time to feel how it feels? No. Just take it out. And when he took it, he was touching it. He was feeling the texture of it. Take your own time, he said. Feel it. Let the completion happen. It's a sense organ. Indriya. Panchindriya. One is a touch. You're not giving time for the touch. You're directly putting it, and the experience is incomplete. Why don't you give it nourishment? And then he touches, he feels, and when you put it on your lips, feel it on your lips and experience it. And then he says, can you smell the cigarette? Even when it is not burnt, it is there in front of you. And that is the first time that person takes a deep smell, and he senses there's a smell of that tobacco and the nicotine and all that. First time ever he sensed that, never sensed it before. His indriyas were deprived. So the sense he gave touch, the smell he gave time. Then he said, now slowly light it up. When you light it up, do you feel the temperature? Do you feel the warmth? Yes, I can feel. See, watch the cigarette burn. Indriyas, watching it burn. Never watched it before. Where was he? Oh, some tension, all the time thinking, oh, I've got this tension, and he's not even aware, unconsciously takes a cigarette, puts it, lights it, puff, 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 and he's not at all even knowing that he has something there. He's not experiencing anything there. And then he finishes all the puff and throws it down. And this is what he does for 30 cigarettes a day, still unsatisfied. Now, when he's lighting up the cigarette, he's feeling the warmth of that, the sense. Now he says, slowly pull the smoke. And when he's slowly pulling the smoke in, the smoke touches his mouth, and he's feeling it going down. And he can feel the smell of it, the taste of it, how the smoke is touching his feeling. He says, be with it every single moment, completely aware of that, what you're doing. Forget everything, just be there. And then he said, don't be in a hurry to puff it out. Pull it into your lungs. No guy will tell you, no saint will tell you this. Pull smoke into your lungs. Everywhere it is famous. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. It will remain there. It will come back in some or the other form. It will attack you all the time. And then when you fulfill that, then he said, slowly puff it out. And when you puff it out, smell that smoke. See the smoke go out. Feel the satisfaction of what you. And then yet, so much of contentment in just that one cycle of puff. And he said, repeat it in the same manner. Live every moment in awareness of that act. And he could not take more than 2.5 puffs. By the time he had taken 2 puffs and he was pulling the third puff, he had so much of filled up like disgust and enoughness and all that. He threw it down just in 2.5 puffs. And when he threw it down, he said, try it again next time. And he said, no, I'm not feeling like. No, after you smoke, no, every 1 hour or something. Okay. After 1 hour, he is still not feeling that kind of disgust and feeling fulfillment, like not feeling like. 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours passed, not feeling like touching a cigarette. In the evening, after a couple of hours, 6, 7 hours, Finally had a little bit craving. He says, okay, pick up. And picks up, he keeps it on his mouth and he just lights it. He just pulls even half a drag and he throws it out. Feeling suffocating. You have done with it. Now do it. He couldn't. What has happened? All the indriyas attentively, in alertness, in complete awareness, experienced the completion of that. Gratification happened. This, if we can do it in every act of life, there will be completion, there will be transition happening, transcending. Until that, there will be only bhog and bhog and bhog. And there will be misery in bhog. No progress. It will be, life will be only there, like a atka or kata. It will be just roaming there only. It will not go any further than the gramophone recording, repeating. It will not go any further. So life of awareness gives that completion and moves one forward. Any aspect of life you take this, any aspect, give it completion. Be with it. Live with it. And who can live with it? Who do you think an impatient person would have sat there sitting with a cigarette and experimenting for 5 minutes just to take two puffs? Impatient persons will never do it. You can't sit still. For that, you need this practice of awareness. The more you can still, the people of stillness can anytime sit any long with any activity and still feel comfortable. There was once upon a time when I used to go to Tirunelveli, I used to run around everywhere, all around the hill, here, there. Still that satisfaction not coming. And still you feel like going there again. You go there again roam here, there. Even places to places. All this is very true. You go from one place to the other, you want to see that place. Why? Because you're not settling down. You're not stilling yourself and having a feel of what you came to feel. You're in a hurry. Oh, one day is left. So much time left. Now we have got to move to the next. Oh, before the day ends, I got to finish this, complete this, complete this. It's a ritual. You are nowhere present completely. I'm talking from my personal experiences. And the day I found that stillness there, I'm not feeling like doing anything else there. Same cigarette story. You apply it anywhere in life, it will happen. It will work wonders. You sit down for that particular experience and be in that moment, completely there. Even in the moments of personal moments where the couples used to be together and all that, Osho always said, spending more quality time of awareness with each other. For many, it is like Pashu, 5 minutes done. It's like animals. There's no awareness at all. It's only the fulfillment of bhoga. Mind enjoys and fulfills and throws off and goes. Like just like eating a meal. You go for a meal, you order something that you like, and you gobble it up. Why all this mindfulness, all this is taught? Why Buddhism is dealing so much with mindfulness means being aware of every single moment. You go to a mindfulness class, they will teach you how to eat a chocolate in 2 hours. Chocolate, I mean a toffee, not a big one. One toffee, they will teach you how to eat in 1 hour. You will call that bullshit. What nonsense. No, it is being aware and relishing every. You will not feel like eating chocolates after that. I have grown over this deadly habit of eating chocolates. I used to eat so much of Cadbury's and Cocos all my life. My room used to be always full with chocolates, all kind of chocolates. Craving, all kind of cakes and pastries, ice creams of all sort. Mad behind it. Nothing today. None of these today. Because you sit and spend time with it, you will feel disgust after that. And it will not happen in 1 or 2 takes. It might take a lifetime also. It's okay. We have time till lifetime. We don't have to hurry. You don't have to actually hurry. You are here to experience that human experience. Why we say that, why have you taken birth? To have a human experience of all these things. And if you don't have a human experience, if you don't have that fulfillment, you're going to come back here again. This is the only message I want to give in today's life. Experience life completely without being in a hurry to go anywhere. There's nothing to hurry, nowhere to go. If you are in a hurry in this lifetime, you are definitely going to be you are going to come in hurry next lifetime and again go in a hurry. Our lifetimes are gone in that. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Nobody is settled anywhere. Constant hurry, impatience is there. Running, running, running. You can't still yourself anywhere. Before you complete one experience, you are thinking about the next experience. Before you are here, you are thinking about the next. That is why people who are at home, they want to go for a picnic or a tour or a trip, and all the time their mind is there. They're never in this moment here. Ugh, all the time planning about that, planning about. And when that time comes, they are in the future again. Today comes, they are planning about tomorrow. Tomorrow comes, they are planning about day after. So in the trip, they are planning of something else. And by the end of the trip, they're planning of what they'll do back home, how they're going to continue their work, what all is left pending. So while they're at home, they're in the trip, living in the trip, imagination. And when they're really in the trip, they're thinking about their other work and what back at home. So they're never there in that experience. They're never living that experience. No completion. Thus, another craving for another trip. Simple things of awareness, these are. Very, very simple things of awareness. Thank you, Bhaiya. I'm feeling very light and insight also. This is not the words that is giving you that feeling of lightness. It is that awareness that is giving you, because you are aware of what I'm speaking. And people who are sitting in awareness will become aware of what is being said here. Not keep thinking in the mind. If you are thinking in the mind, you have lost it. You won't gain anything here. People who have gained from these sessions are only people who have listened in awareness, because there is deep things that happens in your consciousness while we speak about these aspects. But if you pull that from your consciousness and put in your mind, like many do, you keep judging what I say, you keep analyzing what I say. Oh, then this is this. Lost it. Nothing is going to happen. But whatever is being said, if you reflect it directly into your consciousness, there is chances of benefit there. Poonam Kapoor, Bhaiya, mind speaks continuously. It's like always talking. Mind always talks. Mind cannot be quiet. That is the prakriti, the very nature of mind. That is why it is called monkey minded, fickle minded. It cannot sit idle. It will jump from one thing to the other. You've seen monkeys, you observe monkeys and see, it cannot sit still. It cannot sit still and even look. It will be either chewing, or it will be looking, or it will be holding something, or breaking something, or playing with something, or touching another one, or jumping from branch to branch, running, sitting. It can never sit idle. That is why it is called monkey mind. It can never be in the present moment. Have you seen monkeys relishing in the present moment? Impossible. You go to Tiruvannamalai, there will be a lot of monkeys. You can observe them. You give it something to eat, it will not relish there. While it is eating, it will be looking at other monkeys' heads. What can I snatch? Or it will look at your hands. What is going to come next? And if you are putting your hand in the bag, you will see that it is not even eating. It will throw this. Literally, it will throw this and jump on what you are going to get. You see the monkeys. You have 10 apples or 4 apples in front of you. It will not be happy with one. It will take one and then it will snatch another, then it will snatch this, then even if it is all falling from here, it doesn't care. It is just looking for next, 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 never in the moment. Mind is like that. Mind is never settled in the moment. It's always in the future. Always in the next, what next, what next, what next, what next. There are so many busy people that I see. Throughout the day, they are busy. So much of work in their offices and running to the office and from one office, one department to the other. Whole day day goes, and by the end of the day, they are tired. Their body is tired. What have we relished? Nothing. Tiresome, unfruitful day. No use. Anything has been fruitful? Nothing. Monotonous. You are not even aware of what you have done. Routine. A robotic routine it is. Get up, do the same things again and again. That is why people get bored. And they say, what a life we have. Many people even say, what is the meaning of life? Get up in the morning, do the same old things, have your bath, do the same old work, eat, again go back, rest, sleep, get back again next day. What is the meaning of their life, they ask. Why do they ask this? Because they have never relished what they are doing. They are always in the next. If they are in the office, they are thinking about home. If then they are in the office, home, they are thinking about the market. When they are in the market, they are thinking about children. They are in the children, they are thinking about their home. It's never in one place. And what is the solution to this, if you ask? Mind is speaking continuously. It is always talking. What is the solution? Solution is awareness. Because awareness shifts you from the mind to that stillness. The more you move from your mind and remain and live a life of awareness, you'll see the mind is less and less talking, less and less chanchal. It starts becoming nischal. And that is when you have the real experience of life. Otherwise, it's purposeless. So, the mind chatter can only be stopped if you don't invest your attention and awareness in the mind. If you live in the mind, that is what today's topic is. If you live in the mind, you can't live in awareness. Which is why if you say the mind is chattering so much, then you cannot be in awareness. And the opposite is also true. The more you live in awareness, the less you live in the mind. So the only way to counteract your mind is to leave it alone, not suppress it, not avoid it. Leaving it alone doesn't mean that I find distractions. Oh, I shouldn't be in my mind. I shouldn't be sitting empty. Many people think that. Empty mind is a devil's workshop. So if there is nothing to do, engage yourself in doing something. All that is good, grossly. Instead of sitting idle, let me write something. Let me read something. Let me listen to something. Let me take a walk. Let me do yoga. Let me paint. Let me eat. All these are distractions. You are just trying to keep your mind engaged in this what is happening. You are not unclutching from the mind, but you are using new devices to keep that same culprit active, the mind. You're saying if it sits empty, it will do all the nonsense. So let me feed it with new nonsense so that it doesn't do the old nonsense. As simple as that. Whereas that's not the solution. What I'm saying is, just drop the mind there. Move into that space of stillness, because you don't have to drop. The moment you move into stillness, the mind is automatically dropped. There is no function happening in the mind. You are experiencing this awareness. So even if it is your daily work, your professional work, whatever work you're doing, in that if you add that awareness, the gift of awareness, the light of awareness in that, you are cooking, you are fully aware of what you're doing. In a certain awareness you cook, in a certain awareness you eat, in a certain awareness you talk, in a certain awareness you do whichever act you're doing in the day. You are adding awareness to it. Awareness means you are now doing that act with awareness and not with the mind. If you do it with the mind, then you are again into bhoga and unconscious bhoga. Mind means unconscious, unawareness. You are having that experience, incomplete experience. So there will be unfulfilled experience and fruitless, useless things will happen there. Awareness will not allow you to do useless things. Awareness will make you do only fruitful things, which is quality for you, which is good for your highest good, and the highest good of all. So there's a difference between paying attention and awareness. Paying attention, many people think awareness is paying attention. No. Paying attention is a part of the mind only. Attention. You are giving it attention. So you are investing your mind to put an attention on something. So if the class teacher is telling you in the class, dear children, hey you, pay attention. What are they trying to do? They are trying to pull your mind towards what they are saying. They are asking you to involve your mind with what they are trying to share. If I am doing this session, if I tell you pay attention, it's a wrong word. Because if I say pay attention, your mind will be focused on me. Rather, I would use the word be aware. Please be aware of what we are talking here. That's more sensible because you are investing your awareness. Awareness is that knowing. You're just investing that awareness. You're shifting that awareness from something. You are distracted somewhere. Your awareness was in something else. And if I say, please become aware here, you shift that awareness from there to there. It's that awareness, that tool that is working, not the mind. As I pay your attention here, your mind was engrossed in something. Now you pluck it from there and put it here. So your mind is now engaged with what I'm saying. Pay attention. You are investing your mind here. Very slight, very, very slight difference. But it's important to know that. Awareness is something that even watches the attention. Awareness is something that even observes that attention. That part of your mind which is focusing attention from here to here, the awareness can observe even that. Who's the one? Where is the mind putting attention? It can observe that. That is awareness, what I'm talking about, not the attention itself. I don't know if you can understand what I'm trying to say. But people who practice awareness will understand this. That awareness will even watch the watcher. Awareness will even observe the observer. Like it is very common to say that, watch your thoughts. They say in meditation, watch your thoughts. Doership. There is a watcher there is a watchman who's doing something. What is he doing or she doing? Watching the thoughts. It is not being. Being means no doing, no doership. See, I'm telling you the small catches. What is the difference between this meditation and awareness? What Bhagavan Ramana tries to actually bring you to that awareness, which is so what people like Muji and Papaji, Punji Baba, but they are all trying. Nisar Dutt Maharaj, they are all trying to bring your awareness on this pure awareness. It's just so sukshma, but it can be confused for that attention and the mind stuff. See, the mind stuff is still in the meditation, it is commonly used. Watch your thoughts. When you close your eyes, watch your thoughts, but don't judge it, don't get involved in it. Watch the thoughts. That means there is still a doer there who's sitting and watching the thoughts. But Ramana says, find out who is that watcher, who is that observer, Who's the one who's observing that? That is awareness. Who's the one who's watching? It is the ego. My ego is sitting here and saying, no, I will not allow thoughts to come to me. I will not allow this thought to affect me. I will take control of it. So I want to control my thoughts now. So there is a controller. Who's the controller? The ego. So it will sit there and it will watch. Even the one who says, Neti, Neti, not this, not this, not this. There is somebody who is saying, it is the ego who is separating, not this. It's saying, not this, no this, not this, not this. Neti, Neti. Ramana says, watch who's the one who says Neti, Neti. That one which watches this one who says Neti, Neti is the soul, which is pure awareness. The soul is silent. It even watches the watcher. It observes the observer. That is the state we got to move into. Slowly you got to move into that. This is what precisely is done in Ramanashram. What I used to practice. It is not just meditating there. Meditation can be done anywhere. It might steal your mind, all that fine. But this practice of inquiry, this highest practice of inquiry will lead you directly to the source. You will realize who is this one who is observing the observer. When you realize who is this one, you will realize that is the self, that is the soul. When you realize that self, that is called self-realization. So somebody had written this mail also. I'll just read it out. It's an old one, I think 2 weeks back. Namashiva Jacob. I follow most of your videos on FB and YouTube. I am trying my best to practice awareness, and now I find myself unable to talk to people around me as before. I am more silent, and at times I feel it's making people uneasy with my silence, but my mind is not silent. Please advise. Thank you. It's a very complicated, it's got quite twists in this, good and bad, and whatever you call that. It says, I'm trying my best to practice awareness. See, I'll go sentence by sentence. You said, I'm trying my best to practice awareness. You cannot try to practice awareness because then that's doership. There is a doer who's trying to do this awareness practice also. I would always tell you, shift. That's why this term is used, shift. Instead of doing, don't do this awareness. Don't try to become aware. Shift into awareness. Shift is just a small shift which I do in these practices very clearly. One small shift and you are there. How much time does it take for you to shift your awareness from your mind to this space that we do all the time? The moment you put your awareness on the atoms in this space, suddenly your mind becomes still. How much time does it take to still your mind? One shift, that's all. You shift your focus because till you were in this atoms, in this space, in this Akash Tattva, till you were there, where were you? You were in the mind. The moment you shifted from there, you left your mind and you went into the awareness. Simple. You put your awareness anywhere outside, in the space, on the grossness outside, on the planets outside, on your body, on your sukshma shariras, anywhere you put your awareness, you shift your awareness, you will automatically shift from your mind. As simple as that. Shift from your mind, simply shift it elsewhere, anything other than the mind. Are you getting it? Very simple. You say, I'm trying my best to practice awareness. Don't try. Just shift into that. And now I find myself unable to talk to people around me. So that is the result of your trying to shift into that awareness. You're trying to move into awareness, become more aware. See, when you become aware, what happens? Silence is the result. I will not tell you silent your body. I will not tell you sit straight, take this kind of a breath, don't look here and there, close your. I don't say anything. I just bring your awareness into this space. Automatically, your body stills down. Who told you? Your eyes close down. Who told you? Your mind is no more thinking of all these things. You have become aware of this. Who told you? Your breath has become a certain way. Who told you? I never asked you. Breathe this way, sit this way, close your eyes. Then what did that? It's an automatic thing that happens. Your awareness will bring you into that stillness automatically. And what if I tell you do this, do that? You become the doer. You end up doing. Who's the doer? The mind. You'll have to use your mind to do this, do that. Whereas when you're shifting, you don't need to do anything. Being. For me, I find it very difficult to do anything. The moment my life shifts into doing, my life gets messed up. The first stress I get is here. Because doing is mind. Being is no mind. Being is very easy for me. Doing is very difficult and very stressful. I feel I go mad. The moment you try to do, think, analyze, you know, plan out, so much of things, activity, and not in the present, in the past, in the future. Because the moment you say plan means future. There's no present tense. And worry means past. Automatically, mind goes there. It becomes very difficult. So you say now I'm unable to talk to people around me. Because who's the talker? Mind talks. Who likes to talk and chat and chat and chat and debate and argue and endlessly connected straight to the mind? Tongue is connected straight to the mind. Whatever is in the mind, it flushes out from here. Whatever is the content in the mind, it has to be emptied through here. Expressions are nothing but the outcome of what is there in your head, in your mind. So you say, now I find myself unable to talk to people. You cannot talk when you are in awareness. When you shift into awareness, your mind freezes. And if you are not, your awareness, you are not present in the mind, what are you going to talk? To talk, you need to activate the mind. You got to use the mind. So what is happening to you is very natural. You shift into awareness, you will not feel like talking. You are in silence. So you say, I find myself unable to talk to people around me as before. I'm more silent, and at times I feel it's making people uneasy with my silence. Obviously, that's going to happen. You feel you are more silent at times, and at times you feel that it's making people around you uneasy. It is going to happen. It is a competition between awareness and the mind. If you are in a state of awareness, it will trigger all the people who are in the mind. Because you become silent, mind is always active. All the activity around needs activity, so it needs you to be active. It expects you to be active, and if you are not active, it's going to make them uneasy. Because the world wants you to talk. Because the mind is always chattering. So they needed expressions. So expectations are there. So what is happening to you is very, very common. It is a mismatch of frequencies. One is coming from a pure soul level consciousness, awareness frequency where the lines are still. There's a stillness. There is no tarange, still deadline. And one is coming from the mind which is constantly in this mode. So what will happen? One line is this, one line is this. What is going to happen? Mismatch of frequencies. This is a jittered frequency, this is a dead frequency, still frequency. Obviously, there is going to be uneasiness, which you already wrote here. I think I'm making people uneasy around me. You don't think it's happening. Making people uneasy with my silence, but then you say my mind is not silent. That's the twist that you have here. You said that I am enjoying silence, I am becoming more silent at times, and then you say I feel I am making people uneasy with my silence. With your silence you are making people uneasy, but on the same line you write, but my mind is not silent. So you feel your silence is making people uneasy, but in same line you are concluding saying that my mind is not silent. Why it is not silent? Because all this what you have written is chatter. How you analyze the whole situation now? I'm going silent and I'm being in awareness. I'm practicing this. It is making people. Who's making up all this story now? Is it awareness? No. This is your mind that is chattering all these things. That has meant this analysis of this whole experience. And now it is expressing itself. And then you say, but my mind is not silent. It is moving into these modes of awareness and disturbance. So when it is in awareness, you are getting this experience. Oh, I am in peace. I am going more into awareness, and I am becoming silent. Yeah, you are experiencing that awareness. It's showing you that. But then you are suddenly becoming not just aware of you. You are becoming aware of somebody who is now uneasy with your silence. You become aware of that person. Till there, fine. You become aware, fine. But the moment you try to analyze, oh, that person is becoming angry with this now, with my silence, and it's bothering them so much. Why should they get bothered? Why can't I be in this? Why? What is there? Mind has begun. See, from awareness, it has given you experience, but the mind is now analyzing the whole situation. And then you wrote this whole experience. That I need guidance. Who needs guidance? Your mind needs guidance. Awareness doesn't need guidance. The mind is confused. The mind has all this distraction. The mind has all these stories. So I'm not blaming what you said, but your dilemma that you say that my silence is affecting people, but at the same light you don't, but my mind is not silent. So your awareness is showing you that you are having silence, but your mind is conquering and telling you, no, chatter patter is still going on because I'm still analyzing. What is all this going on? That's the mind that is doing it. So in this state, I can briefly tell you, you are moving in two zones. कभी awareness में, कभी मन में. Sometimes in the mind, sometimes in awareness. When you are in awareness, you're happy with what's happening. When you're in the mind, you're not happy with what's happening and how the people are reacting and all. That's affecting you. Affecting you what? The mind it is affecting, not your awareness. So there is two aspects of you. One is enjoying that silence. One is not happy with the outcomes of that silence. What to do? Don't do anything. Learn, observe from this. Become aware of this whole drama of this mind also. You'll suddenly see a beautiful awareness coming out of it, a beautiful lesson coming out of it, learning coming out of it. And it's normal to be that. So don't get perturbed with all these things, because to enter into silence only is very difficult and you are already achieving that. You're saying that, I am able to enter. So don't immediately come to the conclusion that with a few practices of stillness, we are going to become Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi. No, we cannot become somebody else. We must not forget that even Ramana, if he says this is the direct path and there is no other path, rest all is for juniors and for the kindergarten students, all other paths. But once they come to the direct path, it's straight way there. And so all the other paths are needing till you come to this kind of state of mind, to this kind of a realization. When Bhagavan Ramana says that, don't forget. It must have taken thousands of janmas for him also to come to that situation. So I wouldn't say any path is wrong or anything. It's all an experience that you are going, because to even come to what we are talking here right now and understand this, you should have had many janmas before where you have realized a lot of things and matured your soul to such a level where this is becoming simple, easy, understandable stuff. It's not happening like this out of luck. It doesn't happen that way. We all evolve. Why am I telling you this? Because we then can be grateful and thankful that we have covered most of this kind of a journey. Maybe others are not so fortunate and they have to do so many things, so many things to do to achieve this same state. So much of doing to settle down and come to that state. Whereas I would say they are still not even close to this. You see the Hatha yogis, you see the Karma yogis, you see the Bhaktas, you see the Jnana Margis, you see the meditators. So much, I see so much of struggle in meditators. For what? What are they struggling? To bring the stillness. The same awareness, what you are getting, the stillness, the pure peace, calm. For this, kitna mushakkat. What all they have to do. They have to first work on their body, stula sharira, then their prana sharira, etheric body, then their mana sharira, then their gyan. All these aspects, one by one, they are taming, they are disciplining, slowly disciplining each and every aspect to reach where? To reach the same stillness. What is the ultimatum of everything? Ashtanga Yoga, Patanjali Yoga Sutras. Rishi Patanjali said this. Ashtanga Yoga has been taught. 8 limbs of yoga. So many things are there in that. To achieve that state, what state? Chitta Vritti Nirodha. The goal, the aim of Patanjali Yoga Sutra is Chitta Vritti Nirodha. And what are we talking here? Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Chitta, your consciousness. Vritti. The vrittis are the, what you call, the tarange, the waves of your thoughts. Nirodha means stop it. Seizing the thoughts that comes all the time, which Bhagavan Nityananda just said in one simple word. Nischalman. Chanchal is vrittis. When the vritti is nirodha, when you stop that, seize it, it becomes nischalman. So the whole aim of Ashtanga Yoga itself is Chitta Vritti Nirodha. And if you are attaining that directly to the path of inquiry, don't you think it's a great achievement? See the 8 limbs, I was just referring to this. For what? Yama, Niyama. Yam means all the external disciplines. So many do's and don'ts, regulations. Eat this, don't eat this. Fastings and postures. Niyama, yam, niyama. Niyama is all the regulations internal. Keep your mind in this manner. Keep your state of thoughts in this manner. All the internal disciplines that you do. Sleep this much. Wakefulness this much. The thoughts, how to control thoughts. All these internal discipline. Yama, niyama. After yam, external discipline, then there is internal disciplining. Then comes the third one, that is asana. That is the postures. Asana, so many asanas are there. Yoga comes here. Yoga begins here. Asana siddhi, even to attain a posture, to sit in a seating posture without moving, you got to come to that state, practicing all this asana. Then the fourth begins pranayama. See, after Asana means your physical training. After physical training, then you move into etheric training, that is your prana sharira. Pranayama begins there. The breath work begins there, which is the fourth state. And the fifth state, after you conquer all this and achieve mastery over this, you go into pratyahara. Pratyahara is the withdrawal of the senses, the panchindriyas, which are always outside. You start then controlling your panchindriyas. Pratyahara. You start practicing that. When is this possible? Pratyahara, after you go through yam, niyam, asana, and pranayama. The fifth state comes pratyahara. After that mastering only you get into dharana, a state of dharana. Dharana means focus. Now you are able to focus your mind. Focus what? Bring your attention to whatever, that ishta or that space or that light or that soul or whatever. Now you are getting your focus. To attain this focus you need yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahara. Then you get dharana shakti, willpower, focusing on one thing, manifestations, all that begin here. Dharana, ichha shakti, dharana shakti. After that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The seventh point comes dhyana. तब जाके ध्यान लगता है. Then you enter into meditation, the absorption, even after the focusing dharana. Once you are mastering dharana, इच्छा शक्ति प्रबल हो गया आपका, then only you can enter into dhyana, that is meditation. And that is not the end. Eighth point, after you master dhyana, you enter into samadhi, which is the final point of Ashtanga Yoga. Patanjali Yoga Sutras, these are. Last state is samadhi, eighth state. For that, all you have to do all these things. So much of doings in all this. So don't you feel fortunate if you are able to just sit down somewhere, still yourself and enter into samadhi? I'm comparing these notes to tell you how easily or how beautifully the state can be entered without doing all these things. But it's not possible for everyone, because some or the other janma you should have done all this. Only when you transcend this only you can sit in awareness. Enter into this path of direct inquiry. Who am I? Because from samadhi, I'm telling you again, samadhi is not the final goal yet. Samadhi is a deep blank state of nothingness, entering into that nothingness. It is still not realizing about the self, because to realize the self, this chintan, this inquiry should happen. Who am I? Who is this observer, and who is the one who is observing the observer? Where is the soul? Who is this soul? Who is this pure awareness? That kind of inquiry should happen. That goes beyond that. Samadhi anybody can still enter into. There are so many people I see in samadhi most of the time. They enter into deep blankness, state of nothingness. That's not the end. You cannot realize the soul with that also. To realize the soul, you have to understand, realize where is the soul. How is the soul experiencing this whole thing? Because that samadhi also has to be experienced. Most of the time what happens is in samadhi we don't even experience, we have no awareness. Just like in sleep, you sleep, but where do you have any hosh? Where is there consciousness that you have slept? That's not sleep. Ramana talks of that state, Nisargadatta Maharaj talks of that state, Bhagavan Nityananda talks of that state, which is the Turyatita avastha, where there is awareness even in the deep sleep. You are aware that you are sleeping. You are aware that you are in samadhi. Who is the one who is aware? Your soul. That is the I am. So can you see it is not still fulfilled there? Patanjali Yoga Sutras. All the paths you see, all the paths that I have seen, have been through and experienced, it goes only till that stillness. till that blankness. Takes you, touches you till the blankness, brings you out. You don't know further what. I have not seen anybody who's the one who's experiencing that blankness. That is the real catch. That is where you become aware of that I am, who is becoming aware of that experience itself. That I am is that God presence. That is what we call Shivoham, or I am that, or Aham Brahmasmi, or Tattvamasi. That state where I know Aham Brahmasmi, I am that Brahman, that experience has to come. Whereas in stillness and samadhi, you're just lost. Tandravastha and all, they're just tandravastha, they're just a kind of a nasha. It's kind of an intoxicated state where you don't have awareness of anything else. You're not even aware of who is the one who is experiencing it. That is why Bhagavan Ramana said, it's a direct and straight experience, straight going to the source. That is why in one of my recent posts I said, awareness is the path that begins at the goal itself. Where other paths are aiming for the ultimatum to reach the state, the awareness begins from there. Who am I? It's contemplating on what is this awareness? Who am I? This awareness. Whereas most of the paths come to an end here, come to a realization that I am pure awareness. That is the goal. But awareness path begins at the goal itself. One of the disciple of Ramana said this. I was reading today morning also. Ramana was asking one simple question. Why are we complicating all this spirituality so much? Why is so many names given to so many terminologies, and why are we complicating? Why are we going into so much details? This chakra, that chakra, some say 8 chakras, some say 7 chakras, some say 108 chakras, some say 1008 chakras. Who knows where are they? Some say it is in the soul, some say it is in the fingers, some say it is in the palm. What difference? He didn't say this. I am asking this question because I started asking myself, what difference does it make? If you have one chakra here, how is it going to help me? Or if there are two chakras this side? And he even asked in one statement, he was asking, there's only one prana. Prana means that energy, that cosmic light or that cosmic force with which you are made. It's only one prana. So he was asking in one text that, why complicate it so much? That you give words to pancha prana. Then you have prana, then you have apana, then you have udana, then you have samana, then you have vyana, panch pranas. Prana moving upwards, apana moving downwards, samana moving inwards, vyana moving outwards. They are all there, they are all function. But you saying what is the meaning of that? Why get into all those details? Why it can't be just treated as a wholesome? There is one prana that's doing the whole masterpiece work. It's just like asking, why are there so many crores of gods? When you just know there is one formless, supreme intelligence that's taking care of everything. Then why we have to come down bifurcations and then this God for this God for this role of this deity is this. For health it is this, for abundance it goes on distributing. It's all true, but it goes on distributing. So he is more not interested in these diversities and these details. He's straight going to the source of that supreme source, formless, nirguna, nirakar, straight. He says, why all these complications? Why? What have you got to do getting stuck in all these things? Going in so much of details into all these things. And which is very true. I wondered about it myself also. So it is all interest, it is all to keep you engaged, it is all to keep my mind engaged. So I enter into that doership, then I go into each of these aspects and I become something there, become something everywhere, and gain mastery over this, gain mastery over this, gain mastery over that, gain mastery over this. And I don't know how many janmas we lose in that. So it's all about everything. The whole thing is all about just being aware of everything, including your mind. The whole practice is mainly about becoming aware of your mind itself, because that is a crook. Until you become aware of your mind, it's very difficult, because you will not even know, otherwise you are in the mind, and your mind is only working for you. And you might think it is awareness or soul or whatever, but no, it's the ego and the mind that is doing. So until you have a higher awareness that can watch this culprit, this mind and its games, it's very difficult to understand the whole thing, because you will not know who's the culprit where. It's just like watching a match with your favorite team. See, I'll show you this. Just observe this. When you watch a cricket match, let's say, with your favorite team, like India is your favorite team, and you're watching the match, how is the whole episode of this match going to be? How is this experience of this whole match going to be? Then another match you are watching where India is not, your favorite team is not involved. There is, let's say, South Africa and Pakistan, or South Africa and Australia, and you are not attached to anybody. There is no favorite. Oh, South Africa is playing and Australia, they are all playing, and you're watching this match. How will be your experience for this match? And how will be your experience for a match which has a favorite team? You will see that you will have no reaction almost with no favorite team. You'll just watch it like, okay, okay. You'll neither be too happy nor too sad. If somebody wins, you are not too happy. If somebody loses, you are not bothered. You have just watched it as a time pass, you get up and you go. But when you're watching your favorite team, what happens? If that favorite team loses, if that favorite team wins, you can see your excitement, you can see the whole match, your involvement, how you are, how you get engaged. That is exactly how the mind acts. You can compare your mind with this favorite team one. It's always engaged. Sukha, dukha, both diversities. And it will experience both bhoga, or both pain and pleasure, both will be there in that. But in a non-favorite team, it is awareness. You're just aware, you're not engaged in anything. You're there, you're present, you're watching the game. But you have no accountability with anything. You have no connection with anything. You're neither happy, neither sad. Neutral. I'll finish this in another 15 minutes. So all that matters. Now you might, I was telling you, how do we do this? How do we do this? Build up systems that can make your life more into a life of awareness. For that, you will have to make efforts to build up such a kind of life and such a kind of tools that will make your life easy in this. Without that, don't be too overconfident. Like, I don't have any tools or nothing. I am just entering bindas into this world and trying to now live a life of awareness. It will not happen. It will throw you upside down. Whole world will throw you upside down. The whole Maya will throw you upside down. Your own mind will topple you upside down. So for that, you build systems. For me, it worked great, great deal. For me, it is company matters. Definitely, it matters. The first tool that I made was the company that matters. I cut out all links with worldly people, people who are living in the gross world, people who live in their mind, cut off all contacts with them, because your company matters. Whom you talk to, whom you deal with all the time matters. It will affect your consciousness to great large extent. The reason I cut off from the people who are in gross talks was this. Because I saw that my practice were there, good enough. But when my practice were done with, and when I am interacting with this world all the time, whoever it is, near ones, far ones, friends, relatives, whoever, if they are not of the spiritual world, if their consciousness is invested in the gross world, I made it a point not to be communicating with them. Because there my first reaction or my first interaction with the worldly, grossly world, which is against my practice, which will take my consciousness down and far away from my awareness, that first stopped. That is one reason I cut off all my phones, and I ever, if you are with me, you will see that you will never find me talking on phone. Never a call. Because I don't want to put my time and invest my energies with people who are not like minded. It makes a big difference. Your chitta, your consciousness can get polluted. I do not associate more with people who are living in the mind. I love people who live more in awareness and in soul consciousness, because that is where my aim is, and I believe that is where all your aim should be. Because all the questions that you ask, the challenges that you have with the mind, is all very clearly indicating that you are having challenges there. So if you are having challenges, you must be vigilant and watch what are those obstacles and where is it draining your consciousness. Where are the loopholes? Where are the loose ends from where you are losing that kind of consciousness? If you seriously want to excel on this path, if it is just for, oh, I want little peace of mind, then you will not be motivated enough to go this deep, what I'm telling you. If you're truly focused on your soul evolution and do not want further more janmas or more to get stuck in the dramas that you are already stuck in, you will automatically become vigilant. It's all on what my Gurudev is doing. Tum chahte kya? What is it that you really want? If you want more of dramas, engage with people who are in dramas. You can call that attachment, you can call that whatever name you want, but I call that ignorance, agyanta. Even knowing शुद्ध बुद्ध होने के बाद भी, समझ होने के बाद भी, कोई अगर अपना उंगली अग्नि में डालता है, उससे मूर्ख कोई कौन हो सकता है? Who can be the most foolish person who knowingly puts his or her finger into the fire? Either you have underestimated the world and Maya, or you have not known how easy it is for you to slip. Matters, company matters. What you do matters, what you think matters, what you read matters, what you study matters, what you see matters, what you hear matters. Everything matters. Every single thing matters. And while you do all these activities, what majorly matters is how aware you are of all these things. Until you are aware, you cannot catch yourself doing these mistakes. Because if you are not in awareness, you can be doing all, you can be engaged in lot of things in this world, but still not even have the slightest clue of it. Swami Anubhavananda always said, always his most precious advices, दुनियादारी में मत पड़ो. Don't involve in yourself into worldly matters, any kind of worldly matters which is not in your direct concern. If it is in your direct concern, it is in your prarabdha, fine, deal with it. But if it is no link with your prarabdha, and if you are simply putting your nose and fingers and toes into all the worldly affairs of this world, thinking that you are doing some work here, you are doing no other work but getting more and more stuck in this world. Nothing is more important than your own evolution. Forget the world's evolution. Forget the world's progress. Ramana always said this. Forget what the world is doing. Forget the world suffering. Forget the traumas of the world. Forget where the consciousness of the people are lying. Forget how down degraded the world has become. Forget everything he said. Only focus on your evolution, even if you feel that is selfish. Because the moment you transcend, everything is transcended. I would not understand this. I would say that is so mean. When somebody is suffering, how can I suffer? That's my ego, I was told. Because that ego wants to feel beautiful, that because of me, something good is happening. Whereas nothing good or bad happens here, with you, without you. How do you want to know that? Analyze that. If you want to use your mind to analyze this, just imagine in sleep what happens. Where are you? Where is all the worldly miseries and all that? Everything is gone. It has just disappeared. Forget the world. Even you have disappeared. Who you think yourself to be has disappeared. Identity only is gone. That is Satya. That is what Ramana said. Only you exist in this world. Till you exist, there is this world. The moment you disappear into विलीन हो जाओगे आप इसमें, everything, all this collapse. That is what is called Maya. This Maya will exist till your mind exists. Till the time your mind is active, everything is real around you. The moment your mind dies, like in Samadhi, when you are in deep awareness or deep Samadhi, the whole world vanishes. Nothing appears. So, this whole world is real only to the one who is ignorantly awake in the mind. Man Jagrit, Dunya Jagrit. As simple as that. So, all the miseries that you see, all the functions of the world, all the incompleteness that you see in the world, all the pain and suffering that you see in the world is because you are living in your mind. The day you move out of your mind, which is the state of many Jivan Muktas, you look at all the Jivan Muktas, they are not doing anything in this world. They don't do any damn thing because the world does not exist for them. This Maya exists only for Mayanagari people like us. That's why somebody went and complained to Ramana, you are sitting here with a loin cloth, sitting here and talking big things. There World War II is going on, 3 is on hand. So much of famine, so much of destruction, the earthquake happening, floods happening, people are dying of starvation, all these things, and you are sitting here and giving lectures. What is your contribution? They asked. Ramana, you are sitting here. What is your contribution? How are you contributing to this world? That is the time he said this. This world exists to only foolish, ignorant people. And they run around in this world thinking they are the doer and doing so many things. The moment the world evaporates in front of you, what are you going to do here? Where is the suffering? What do you see? There is nothing. It's all the projections of your mind, which is what is called Maya. You still don't believe it, but you still believe in your gods? You believe in your scriptures? Yes. Then there is something called Pralaya. Everything is withdrawn into that. Everything is pulled back from where it came from. Where is all that gone? One day that will happen. The pralaya will happen. Everything just disappears into where it came from. Where did it come from? That one source. It came. So what was all that hue and cry about? What is all that seriousness about? I saved this world, I did this world, I conquered, I helped this one, I transformed this one. Everything it is gone in a jiffy. Where is all that gone? Where is all the stories gone? Where is all your doing gone? Where is all your history record gone? just wiped out in a moment. Anytime it can happen. Then what is all this play about? This is what the mind creates. That is why it is called Manhi Bhokta, Manhi Karta. Mind only creates this life. You and me are alive because of yours and my mind. It is creating all the time. And what it is creating, it is bhoging, it is experiencing. So the moment that creation stops, the experiences stop. Which is the sthiti of a Jivan Mukta. Now the Jivan Muktas are only worried not to save the world. You see, they are not there to save the world. They will only like to save you and me from this illusion, which is all the great mahatmas, all the great mystics they are doing. They will only come to burn this agyanta. And they will remind you your suffering is not coming out of the world or anything else. It is suffering is coming because of your mind. So they come in the form of Guru Swarupa or whatever, teachers or whatever they come here, or avatars as Jnana Swarupi, Ajnana Timirandasya, burning the ignorance of that darkness. Their work is only that. That is why people flock to all these great messiahs. People flock to receive this wisdom from them so that they can clear their ignorance. That is the only seva that can be done, is to annihilate this ignorance of Maya, where the root causes. And for that, we are doing all these kind of practices. We are centering back into the source, the soul from where there is no Maya. Because once you start entering into that space where there is no Maya, you experience the real you and who you are, where you came from, and where are you supposed to go. You'll know your true identity and not get caught up in all these things. The practice of awareness teaches you and reaches you there. Malaji, so true, bhaiya. Only people who understand awareness can be friends. Very true. People who understand awareness can be friends in the sense because the wavelength is the same. The language is more through silence. The language is more through these frequencies. It is never through the ego consciousness of the mind. Because the more you have to communicate with your mind, understand, the more lower you have to travel. The more you move away from your soul. The more you move away from the soul, the more you find yourself lonely, depressed, sad, unhappy, all those kind of feelings, incompleteness, everything begins happening there. Because you're not aligned with who you are. See, I'll just make a short, very short practice of this awareness. So, how easy it is to just shift into that awareness. Instead of doing anything, just shift. Just become aware of your right toe. See, this habit of becoming aware of your body is because you cannot directly, if you can move directly into subtle spaces, great. Many people can't because they are in the mind or they are lost in the outward indriyas. It takes a little time to withdraw. So I do this practice, but you might try directly also. Those who have having certain mastery, they will be able to directly enter into stillness. If you go to Tiruvannamalai, go to Bhagavan Ramana's place and all, you just sit there and shift outside, you're gone. Within seconds you can be gone. You don't have to do these processes. But in the start it will help. So just become aware of your right toe. How does it feel? Become aware of it. Can you sense the right toe bone? Just become aware of your right toe bone. Inside bone is there. Can you feel the structure of that bone? Can you feel the blood circulation only in that toe, around the bone? The flesh that is there around the bone? Without touching. You are using your sense of awareness to tap into that space. You're not using your mind. I'm not asking you to think about your toe. I'm asking you to become conscious or become aware of your right toe, the bone, the flesh around it. Now become aware more deeper into the nail on the right toe. You will become aware that there is a nail. Feel the nail. Become aware of the nail. Below the nail, there is something called a nail bed, which is touching the nail and the flesh. It is gluing it. Become aware of that nail bed on which is resting the nail. Now become aware of the full right toe, big toe, all together, the nail, nail bed, the blood, the bone, the tissues, the flesh around there. You might feel a kind of sensation in your right toe, or some heaviness, or something that has become alive. In other words, I can say your right toe has right now become alive, and you can feel that aliveness. You can see some life force there, or some prana there, or some sensation, some life there. See, what has happened is you put your awareness on your right toe, and that became jagrit. It became alive. Now, as you just become aware completely of your right toe, complete full right toe, in, out, the skin outside it, completely. Can you become aware of the tiny hairs also that are protruding from that right toe? Become aware of everything. Right now, if you observe, if you just become aware, you will see that your mind has suddenly become empty. Within how many seconds? Not even a minute. Suddenly it dropped all the thoughts and entered into stillness. Why? Because you became aware. Just this is what I wanted to tell you. The moment you become aware, completely aware of any aspect in or outside of you, you will immediately move out of your mind at that moment, that kshana. This is how you shift your attention or your awareness from your mind to wherever you are localizing it. Now just expand that awareness from your toes to your whole right feet. Spread that awareness into your whole right feet, where you are becoming aware of all the five toes of your right feet, the five nails, the whole bone, the calf muscles, the knees, the thighs. Spread that awareness to your pelvic area completely, all your reproductive organs, genitals, and then spread it down to your leg, left leg. That is your thighs, your knees, down to your calves, to your soles, and all the five fingers on the five toes on the left feet. Become aware of all the five nails. Now you spread your awareness to both your feet and pelvic area, that is below your waist. You are fully aware now. Become aware of below your waist. Everything simultaneously become aware. Both your knees, both your calves, all your 10 toes, all your 10 nails. Become aware of all the 10 nails simultaneously, all together. Suddenly it is like there is full life in both these legs below your waist. Become aware of every aspect of your pelvic area, all the organs, every aspect there, simultaneously along with your feet. Now become aware of above your waist, expand it through your tummy area. Become aware of all the organs in your tummy area and the spinal cord from the tailbone. You can become aware, which is moving upwards. Become aware of the whole tailbone, the whole spinal cord, from the lower back to the upper back, all the vertebrae, going and touching your skull. The whole skull is active, aware, the whole spinal column is fully aware till the tailbone. Move your awareness from above your tummy, fill in all the organs inside with awareness. Become aware of all the organs simultaneously: your stomach, spleen, liver, gallbladder, large intestine, small intestine, pancreas. Move the awareness upwards towards your chest area. Become fully aware of your chest, inside and outside of your chest, upper chest and back chest, the front chest, back chest. Become aware completely, inside and outside. Inside is the heart, lungs. Become aware of all the rib bones. Go to your shoulders and feel the relaxation on your shoulders. If you are holding any kind of tension in your shoulders, you will feel suddenly it is all dropping down. Suddenly it's become aware of your shoulders. Now pass the awareness to both your hands simultaneously. Run it down from your shoulders to your arms, to your elbows, both hands, to the wrist of both hands, and to the fingers of both the hands. All the nails on all your 5 fingers, 10 fingers, the whole palm. Move this awareness in your neck area. Become aware of the whole neck, round neck, the thyroid, tonsils, the vocal cords. Move upwards, become aware completely of your lower jaw, the whole teeth on your lower jaw, the tongue that is resting. Become aware of the tongue. Sense its coldness, its warmth, its wetness, the position with which the tongue is lying down there. Become completely aware of the tongue. Become aware of the upper jaw, all the teeth on the upper jaw. The gums on both the upper and lower jaws. Move this awareness upward from behind your head. Spread it to both your ears. Become aware of both your ears. Back of your head. Move it upwards. Become aware of your whole scalp where your hair is coming out from. Become aware of every pore from where the hair is coming out from. It is possible. Countless hairs, you can become aware of every hair if you want simultaneously. It's a different feeling. You suddenly feel your hair become alive. Move it down to the forehead, the whole forehead area. Become aware. Bring it down to your eyes, both your eyes. Feel the roundness of the eyes, the eyeballs. the eyelids that are touching it, move down to the nose, inside out. You can see the whole body is become aware of itself. You, the awareness, are aware of the whole body from top to bottom, from the hair, from the head, top of the scalp, till the toes. Become aware of all the internal parts of your body. Simultaneously become aware of all the outside part of your whole body, that is the skin. Your body is covered with skin, and become aware of it. There are tiny pores, tiny hairs all over your body. Become aware of it. Now, this is gross awareness which I am telling you. You first grossly become aware of your gross body. When you are aware of your gross body also, you have moved away from your mind. Thoughts become lesser and lesser. Sometime to the state of no thoughts, you are completely aware only of your physical body. This step is good for those who are more in gross awareness. This can be skipped, and directly you can activate your whole body, your whole skin, become aware of your whole skin and everything inside your body straight, and then you can move straight outside your body to the subtle space. This is subtle awareness. Gross awareness is anything that you can grossly feel and directly experience. Subtle is which you cannot directly experience through your gross senses but your subtle senses. Just become aware of the air that is touching your body. Your whole body is sitting inside a huge bubble space of air. Nothing is empty, there is air everywhere. It is the Vayu Tattva which is touching you. Become aware of the Vayu Tattva. This Vayu Tattva is in the Akash Tattva, the space. Become aware of the space of the room in which you are sitting. There is a direct interaction between the space, the Akash Tattva, and your Stula Sharira. This is how you are existing in this cosmos, because you are in direct interaction with this air and Akash, from where you get the cosmic force or the prana. Your connection is needed for the supply of prana for you to stay alive. This prana is the cosmic force that touches and nourishes your body and also your subtle bodies. Now become aware of this room space which is full of prana, the cosmic force. Now this cosmic force is touching your Sukshma Shariras before it touches your Sthula Sharira. Means your subtle Shariras, bodies it is touching before it touches your gross body. Become aware of that touch. The Akash Tattva is touching your Anandamaya Kosha. Just become aware of that touch. Or you might go even reverse. Become aware of how this Pranamaya Kosha, this whole cosmic force is touching your Stula Sharira. Somewhere, some point, it is touching on the skin. Above this Stula Sharira is your Pranamaya Kosha, or the etheric body, which is full of your Prana Sharira, which has the chakras, nadis. All this is in your etheric body. Now become aware of the contact between the cosmic force in the space and how it is touching and nourishing your etheric body. Your chakras are pulling prana from this cosmic atmosphere and sending the cosmic prana throughout the nadis in your etheric body, from where it supplies to the physical body, which keeps your physical body alive. So it is this sukshma interaction between the cosmic force and your etheric body that is actually keeping you alive. Become aware of the interaction of the cosmic force with your etheric body. Become aware of how the chakras, all the seven chakras, pull this cosmic force and supply through your nadis. The more you become aware of this etheric body, the more prana rushes in. As I told, whatever you become aware of, that becomes alive. The moment you become aware of your etheric body, the etheric body comes to life, like which you saw with your right toe. The more you remain in the etheric body, becoming aware of the etheric body, the more prana you will see movement in the etheric body, which will be the cause for more prana into your physical body also. One level outside this etheric body is the manomaya kosha, the mind body. Where is your mind? The thoughts, the vrittis, the samskaras, all the thoughts emerge here. Become aware of this mind body, which is in direct touch with the cosmic force of the Akash Tattva. Just you becoming aware is more than enough of the interaction that you have with cosmos. This is how you survive as an entity in this cosmos, without which it is impossible to survive. The mind body is being flooded with thoughts and is active with all the contents of the mind, good, bad, ugly, all the rajoguna, tamoguna, and satoguna are converted into thought forms, which becomes your thoughts. The more you become aware of this cosmic force cleansing your manomaya kosha, the more purification happens there. All that you need to become aware is the awareness of the connection between this cosmic force and your mind body. You need not visualize, you need not create anything in the mind, just become aware of the presence of the mind body and the interaction with the cosmic force. The more you become aware of the purity of awareness in this mind body, the mind will become purer and purer. Above the mind body is Jnana Sharira, the wisdom sheath. Just become aware of that layer also. This is where the karmic contents are. This is where all the deep vasanas and tendencies and samskaras lie. The moment you become aware of the awareness moving in your Jnanamaya Sharira, purification begins there. It is from this body that all your samskaras from the karmic bijas, they move into the mind body and they catch hold of your mind body. When you think and say that there is so much of thinking happening in the mind, where does these thoughts come into the mind? Manosharira is from the Jnana Sharira. The more the contents there, the more it will drip down into the mind. From the mind, thoughts generate, and that same manomaya kosha experiences and influences the etheric body, that is your prana sharira, based on the quality of the gunas of the thought patterns, these nadis and etheric bodies affected, and based on the quality of the etheric body, the physical body is affected. Just become aware of the connection of these five bodies and the cosmic force. The fifth body is the bliss body, which is the soul above the Jnanamaya Sharira. It is a pure bliss body, which is the witness body, which is the awareness, pure awareness that you are. Anandamaya Kosha. That body experiences all this body as a witnesser. If your awareness is more in the Anandamaya Kosha, you experience the self and the pure awareness. If from there your awareness shifts to your mind, then you live in the mind and ego consciousness. Your life will be based on what you think and your reactions and actions. If your awareness moves down into the etheric body, it will determine the energy that you have in your life. The quality of energy, the quantity of energy, all determines on how much awareness you have of this space of etheric body. And you move into your awareness into the physical body, the physical healing, the physical regeneration, the physical activations, the physical strength, the vigility, the resilience, all of the physical capacity begins happening when your awareness is on the physical body. Your life experience depends on where your awareness is. The more grosser your awareness is in, the more gross consciousness will be yours. The tendencies, the vasanas, the bhoga, all happens mostly in the lower, gross bodies. The more you travel your awareness into the higher bodies, to the bliss body, you center yourself into stillness, peace, bliss, and calmness and happiness. And you are far away from mind chatter and far away from the ego consciousness. You function from soul centeredness. You function more from soul consciousness and less from gross consciousness. The more higher you are aware of, more silent you become. The more grosser your awareness moves into, the more active you become. Activity happens when you are in the gross. Talking and chatter and all the mind games happen when you are in the gross. The more you shift your awareness into the higher, you will see stillness happening. The more you shift your awareness into the lower, grosser bodies, you will see more of activity in the physical life. This is still gross awareness. Your body, your five shariras are still gross awareness. Until you reach the bliss body, rest all is gross awareness. If you want to move beyond this into higher space, move from your personal tattva to the higher tattvas like the Guru tattva, the Param tattva. For that, you just have to shift your awareness into the space that you are in right now, the room space. and become aware of all the atoms and electrons, protons, neutrons, all the cells that are very active in this ether space, which is the Akash Tattva. And Akash Tattva is not limited to your room, but outside your room, the whole universes are covered in this Akash Tattva. When you move far away into the sky of consciousness, into the sky of Akasha, your awareness is in the Chidakasha. In this Chidakasha is everything covered, the whole infinite creation, cosmos, everything is in the Chidakasha. The Param Tattva, the Guru Tattva, the Guru Mandala, all the rishis, all consciousness has to be in the Chidakasha. There is nothing beyond it. It all depends on where you want to travel your awareness. You can directly move from your gross body to this Chidakasha, or into your subtle bodies and then to the Chidakasha. Or if you are more experienced, you sit in stillness and directly shift into Chidakasha. The easier you are able to shift, the faster you go into that stillness. Know one thing, the higher you shift into any part of the Chidakasha or the Param Tattva, you are no more in your ego consciousness or mind consciousness. The more you practice or meditate on this space, the lesser will be the influence of the ego and the mind. So, your practice of awareness should always try to be on this space or the ether or the Akash Tattva. This is nothing less than God consciousness. You don't have to worship any God because you become one with that God consciousness. The moment you are one with that God consciousness, it becomes the protector, it becomes the giver, it becomes the nourisher, it becomes the creator. This is how you surrender your existence into the higher existence. In this higher space of eternal consciousness, whatever happens for the highest good of you and the highest good of everyone around. The more you remain and live centered in God consciousness, the more it leads your way. The lesser will be the interference of the ego consciousness. Now, with the same consciousness, once you established, you can come back into this world and have gross experiences, but in awareness, as I told before. You can experience any of your profession, any work that you do with this connectivity, which is Yogast Kuru Karmani. Just become aware of your room and become aware of that being that is you, that is sitting inside the space. You are experiencing through the Akash Tattva everything around, including your house. You're feeling it from outside, you're feeling your house from inside. You're feeling the you, the body that is sitting inside this room. Feel the you from outside. How does you feel in the space of this room, the way you're sitting? Can you become aware of you who are sitting in this room? Become aware of inside your body, whole inside part of your body. Who's the one who's becoming aware of your outside and inside? It is that you, pure consciousness, the soul, that is experiencing the outside and the inside of your whole body, that is experiencing all the sukshma shariras, that is experiencing the cosmos, the akash, the chidakash. This consciousness can move anywhere. That is why it is called as one. It is one with everything. Become aware of your body inside, all the organs within. Become aware of the same right toe that you were first become aware of. The right toe, the right nail, right toenail. Move that right toe. Slightly move it. Move other parts of your body, like your fingers or toes, and slightly open your eyes, but do not move. Open your eyes and just look at the same space that you were experiencing through your awareness. Now you are opening your indriyas and you are becoming aware with your indriyas. Previously it was with your six sense, now it is with your panchindriyas. Look aside in the room, you will notice that the state that you are right now observing is the state of awareness. You are looking at gross things with your eyes open, living in the world, but in awareness. Now imagine if somebody walks into your room and you still are looking at that person without judgments, without opinions, but you are aware of that person walking in or walking out. You're fully aware. This is exactly how you need to continue moving even after you come out of the meditation. Whatever you do after this, also, when you close down the session, also try to expand and stretch that awareness as much as possible. Even while you talk to your people, while you're doing any work, just don't go into the ego or the mind frame of consciousness. Keep your awareness in the space while talking to people, while dealing with anything in the world, while doing your work, while even watching TV, while even going and eating something right now. Just be present in the space, don't be present in the body, like you have the experience of the space. And then even talk and communicate with people in that. You will see a certain stillness, a certain kind of grace. You will not feel fast. You'll even as you get up from right now, you'll see your body is moving very slowly, gracefully. That means you are aligned with that consciousness. The more you practice this kind of in and out, the more you'll see stillness coming into your life and awareness getting activated more and more. Grossness will reduce and you will get more and more connected with your soul consciousness. And you can be connected even in the gross world while connected with the higher world. This is what precisely Lord Krishna meant. Hamesha yog ki sthiti mein raho. Yogast kuru karmani, which he told Arjuna to function, do his dharma in this world with connection to the Param Tattva. That is the Krishna consciousness. This is how he was supposed, because when you are in this frame of mind or awareness, you cannot make mistakes. Mistakes happen only when you are in the mind and ego consciousness. So this cosmic force actually is a guidance. If you are connected and aligned and walking in this world, it will make you do only those things which are for your and the highest good of everyone. This is what we call as actual samarpan. It's not anything else, but it is just aligning with the divine cosmic force, divine will. Here you can see free will has reduced, divine will has increased. So I hope you enjoyed this session today. It's 4:50 And I think we have taken enough time, 3.5 hours yet. Do share your experiences, do share your comments, do share your active presence. That will help others, help me also understand where are we getting here. And I hope these Sunday sessions are helping you, because I was planning to take a little more leave, longer leave, but then emails were coming in saying that at least for some time let us spend time together, and I'm happy to do that. So this will reduce your jitter, this will reduce your mental stress, because stress happens only when you live in your mind, when you live in silence, when you live in God consciousness. All these automatically reduces, and you'll see your functionality improvises, your performance, your creativity, all that effectivity improvises. Even your interpersonal relationships improvises, because you depend less on ego consciousness and more on soul consciousness to connect with the world around you. And yes, thank you to all of you who have been sending funds, who have been supporting this mission. I am really grateful and thankful to all of you, because even if I'm active or not active, you guys have always been active in supporting this mission, and that's my great motivation. Because due to that, I'm able to do a lot of other things also. So I'm in eternal gratitude to the Param Tattva, which is functioning through all of you for this divine work. So, with much love and light, I take a leave. I'm there, yes, I'm there for the personal sessions. I've begun it again. So, today I'm again beginning. There are 3, 4 pending sessions. I'm very sorry I couldn't complete it on time. So, I'll complete that. From today, I'll begin again. So, those who want to sign up can anytime sign up. All those details are anyhow here, and you know about it. So, with much divine love and light to all of you, stay blessed. Mayurishi, thank you very much. Today's discourse were very informative and helpful. I'm very glad. Priyanka ji, Tina, Mala, Mala ji, Anita ji, both the Anita ji, Guna Se and Mittal ji, Ramila Kumar ji, Kanu bhai, Vasanta ji, completely lost or don't get lost. Bindu Rani ji, thanks Satang, Sanjay ji, Advait Essence, Poonam ji. Nice. I'm very happy that it is helping you all. So may we all evolve, and much prayers for everybody's enlightening experiences. Stay blessed. Until next time. Bye.